Hi guys dan selamat kembali ke Studio Sembang bersama saya Amy. In the studio this week we have the one and only Aman RA. Hello.
Hello. What's up? What's up?
Thank you so much for coming. Terima kasih sebab meluangkan masa bersama kami.
Terima kasih kerana sudi menjemput saya.
Sebenarnya kita dah lama dah nak rancang this episode and so I'm so happy that we're finally doing it.
Yeah.
The first time I jumpa Aman was in 2016 I think.
Right.
For the Hello music video.
Yeah, dengan Hani Madu.
And until now lah
Macam
macam
dekat 10 tahun dah.
10 tahun.
Yeah, 2024, 2016. 2 tahun dah, 10 tahun dah.
Walaupun umur I hanya 11 tahun. So
That time?
No.
Okay,
No.
yeah. You
I
play
wish.
tahun depan.
I wish. Tapi the bunyi tu macam 8 years ago I was still working. Alamak, I tak boleh terima lah cerita ni.
Faham.
But anyways, thank you so much for coming. And macam biasa
you're
kita akan mulakan our episode with the same question every week, which was, how was your childhood?
My childhood. At one point of time, saya rasa my childhood, I think I would say a lot of pain. But now, I think it's saya rasa warna-warni lah. Yeah, that's my childhood.
Kadang-kadang dia punya hindsight tu akan bagi kita nampak lebih jelas apa yang betul-betul berlaku kan. Because when you're like in something, it always seems like macam all encompassing at the time.
Yeah, because like childhood, macam umur 8 saya mula membesar, saya dibela oleh datuk dan nenek saya. Arwah ibu saya seorang mualaf. Arwah ayah saya army man. So, adik-beradik saya ada 3. Saya anak bongsu. And I think, mungkin sebab dah berumur, so I don't want to get into the details. Sebab kadang-kadang bila kita nak kongsi details pun kita perlu kupas aib. I'm not saying it's all aib there lah kan. Cuma at that point of time, kalau you tanya I 8 tahun apa perasaan satu event, perasaan dia A. Then you 18 tahun, perasaan dia B kan. You have more information. Then 28 tahun, it'll be perasaan C. And conclusion pun, kita belajar benda lain dan sebagainya. But of course, saya I think maybe we need to have a dialogue maybe, but I would just say at one point of time, I think kalau kita buat interview ni mungkin 10-15 tahun lepas saya nak cerita lah. Like, what's the pain about or whatever. But I think without those moments, saya takkan ada dekat sini. Dengan mentality macam ni atau outlook macam ni. So, yeah. Warna-warni. Of course, growing up, I always wish why not better at that point of time. Tapi saya rasa dari sudut keperluan makan, minum dan semuanya, saya macam boleh dikatakan cucu yang manja. Tapi macam hati tu wish it was different, Tapi sekarang ni bila saya ada dekat mana, sumbangan yang saya ada ke, what I could do for others. If I didn't go through that, I wouldn't know how I would be even thinking the slightest things for my own benefit, for my own hard times, bila saya diuji, maybe when I was 25. Kalau I didn't have those moments when I was 5 years old or 15 years old lah, itu saya punya rumusan saya about my childhood. Walaupun saya anak bongsu, tapi saya membesar seperti anak tunggal. So I have a very strong sense of survival. Often saya rasa lah, ramai orang rasa macam kadang-kadang mungkin saya hanya pentingkan diri sendiri. Kalau kita cuba fahami dan dalami anak tunggal ni dari sudut psikologi. Pertama is dia tak cepat ikut. You know, they have this thing, dia punya, untuk orang is, dia fikir diri sendiri, tapi manfaat diri is independent thinking. Like you can sort of like, you gauge lah, ni for me ke tak, ke bukan for me kan. So, but I do realize like what could be a strength for me could be an, you know, satu trait yang kurang disenangi sekeliling saya is I have a very strong self-preservation. Apart from that, you know, I'm glad childhood saya penuh warna-warni. I don't know if this is helping you out for the content lah, but
the reason I tanya actually soalan ni is sebab I rasa macam part of why I started Studio Sembang pada permulaannya adalah untuk bagi orang nampak sebenarnya industri kita dan orang pemain-pemain dalam industri kita sebenarnya macam mana. Sebab I rasa macam dari luar, kalau kita tak terlibat dalam industri ni directly kan, kita semua akan assume, okay, you dah jadi seorang rapper yang sangat berjaya, you have hits on your hands, ataupun you seorang pelakon, penyanyi, whatsoever kan, mesti latar belakang tu macam, mesti ada something yang bagi you some sort of advantage. Tapi reality ni, and kadang-kadang orang akan rasa macam orang yang kerja dalam bidang hiburan specifically, tak cukup depth. Sebab, I mean, this is from my own perspective lah. From my own experience, ada orang yang pandang I macam, okay, mungkin dia ni kan macam buat kerja senang, pelakon semua tu senang.
Betul.
So it gives an impression that artists are people who lack depth. Tapi from my personal experience bercakap dan bergaul dengan orang yang bekerja dalam industri seni, that's not the case. And so for me, the reason I ask untuk bagi orang kat luar sana yang mungkin masih dalam keadaan yang diorang tengah hadapi apa-apa kesusahan, untuk bagi diorang nampak yang sebenarnya perspektif itu sangat penting.
Yeah, it's definitely penting. But I wouldn't know how to further elaborate my childhood, you know. I think even behind the scenes, outside, you could feel I'm a different person. Now when you pose this question again, I'm guarding.
Which is okay.
So saya tahu memang daripada kecil, saya ada this guard. Because I can't let the world in. You know? I can't let the world in. And that's just the way I am. Kadang-kadang it's the price to pay. Mungkin orang ingat angkuh, mungkin orang ingat sombong, but it's not that important. Janji rumah I tak terbakar, cukup. Metaphorically speaking.
Totally understand.
So, you know, growing up too, macam, you know, I'm sure now I would like think it's probably for the best. Of course, if we spoke to anybody
Betul.
on the other side and hikmah dia. But at that point of time when I was growing up, like I feel, you know, I could have received more emotional support, maybe, or maybe more non-biased information, maybe, kan? Di ambang remaja ke dewasa tu, of course, dia punya konflik sangat-sangat. Konflik dalaman tu sangat hebat, right? But I mean, we're here, Amelia, so
part of life.
Yeah,
we made it.
Like, yeah, I think now who I am, I just like to get into it for what? Why are we talking about the demo? The masterpiece is here.
Yeah, betul,
You know?
betul.
Yeah, so like,
okay, so questions about the masterpiece. Macam mana masterpiece ni boleh jadi? It's like the first experience that you had with music yang membuatkan you rasa macam, okay, this is.
Okay, so like the man who raised me, he disowned my mom because my mom was a person who chose love. So, of course, dia ada perjalanan dia lah. Now, I'm born and I'm Muslim. So, he came from a point of time where itu adalah satu tamparan yang hebat for a non-Muslim of that era, of that community, you know? And, like, you know, at one point in time, again, I'm just going to tell you things I remember. like my hands, my eyes, my feet, is like the man who took care of me lah, my grandfather. So I think when my grandfather saw me, umur saya 8 bulan, he was like, hey, we need young Simba, you know. So, but then, you know, it was a lot like I could see that even he, because maybe dia punya zaman, information tu selalu datang melalui pengajaran. You know, it's like you don't have like all this, you know, motivational speakers ke, psychologists ke, whoever. So to find a different perspective was very scarce back then. The man who took care of me is from the greatest generation. This is from people that are born in the 1920s. I'm from the millennial generation. I'm born in the 1980s. So there are a lot of like old school styles that and I find sometimes I can't fit in even now because I find his approach to life is very, I would assume, evergreen lah. It's the only way, you know, you go about things, whatever it is. So he was a man who was, he had a library in the house. I grew up with a library in the house. He put a lot of emphasis, dia titik beratkan pendidikan dan I would say jiwa kesukanan lah, jiwa olahraga ke, if there's such a word. He was a rugby player. He's off the top, you know, because we're going with the flow, right? Umur 74 tahun, he goes ahead and get a PhD because he's bored. Yeah, so I remember once he got his PhD, he looked at me and he says, like, when you grow old, remember there was someone older at that age who did this. Because dia bosan.
Because dia bosan.
Yeah, bukan untuk dapat pay rise ke, bukan, because, you know, because he was always into like a scholar lah, in a way, and dia selalu membaca. Tabiat membaca saya datang daripada dia. Because all I saw him was membaca. The woman who took care of me, dia pendidikan dia sampai darjah 5 ke darjah 6. Boleh dikatakan dia hanya tahu membaca je lah. So, lepas tu dia I mean, that point of time, penekanan terhadap pendidikan bukan macam sekarang. Like sekarang, people kalau umur 15 dah berhenti sekolah will be like, viral, you know. But back then, it was different things. Sometimes to start a family is the main priority in life. You know, at some eras, to just take care of a family is the main priority in life. Different era ada different keperluan. Through him, and I think his journey, of course, he reconciled with his daughter, my late mom. And he showed that through, he showered me with all that love. You know, I grew up, I mean, to me, like a lot of people close to me know, like even my beard is a tribute to him because he had a beard this long. You know, so everybody will say all sorts of things why I'm growing out a beard. I'm just going, you know, like maybe one day I missed him and I'm like, yo, I'm going to grow one out, and just every time I look at me, I'm reminded of you maybe, you know. So to me, he's like a great man. Like all great stories, the hero must be tested early on. So, you know, by the time I'm 18, 19, I'm left alone to fend by myself. It's not like I was left alone per se, but I think I grew up with a man who had a lot of pride, so I assumed that. Saya tengok cara dia, pendekatan dia terhadap hidup tu macam ada, macam berprinsip lah cara dia, you know. Come what may. This is A is A or B is B, right? And so I took on my life that way. But of course, and it was like one day is just the movie is off. You know, he passes away and everything. Of course, that first 18 years, ada warna-warni juga, but some at the back of my mind, some probably one day if we had an in-depth conversation, I would have it. And of course, he was an engineer. He was an engineer for 𝙀𝙃, if I'm not mistaken. He traveled a lot. I think for me was trying the poetic conclusion of this was like, you know, I think he was very heartbroken by my late mom. and to find that heartbreak would later give him like the joy of his life, which is me. At least that's how I felt, you know, because I was like I said, like, you know, he showered me with a lot of love. But he was disapproving of music. I was not meant to be in the arts, you know. He would have like broken the computer if I told him one day you can be this thing called content creator and make money. He would have broken everything, the Nintendo, everything, because he would think that this boy is on
Like,
drugs.
I don't understand what he's talking about.
Yeah, you know, like you're saying that I can be in front of the computer and make money and, you know, be likable. And yeah, he came from that because, of course, he survived World War II. And, you know, one of those old school men. I'm very, very proud. I'm very, very happy to have been raised by such a man. But, of course, as a grandchild, like, I adore him. I'm not quite sure, you know, his younger years, how those around him perceived him. I have a glimpse, but, you know, that's not for this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, you know, I got above me, like I said earlier, like I got 2 older sisters. I'm sure they also went through their own pain. Like I can feel like there's a fabric of our soul that has the same color. Like, you know, when we speak about whatever it is, there's that similarity there. They're all good in their own lives and their respective whatever they're doing for themselves. But yeah, you know, my life has always been like anak bongsu, but my outlook is anak tunggal because I grew up like 18 years of my life alone. I mean, with my grandparents. I think my wife told me like sometimes when I speak or my outlook, there's a gap. And it's because like the grandchild is raised by the grandparent. The parent is not directly like sending out the values. So the grandparent is giving the same values that they did to the parent. And then because the parent is not there to give it to the kid, I get that, you know, like the do's and don'ts of the grandparents' era, you know what I mean?
It's like a different, like a generational.
Like there's a generational gap. Like
Yeah.
I just don't, like, what's this? Like, no, you know? And then, of course, I try to get with the times as well, you know? But this is all internal. It's not like how we are here, you know? It's just that how I probably would perceive things, or what is a strong yes or what is a strong no, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, to conclude everything, like, I wish you got the version of me that would want to talk about the pain. But for me, I'm just like, you know, I think I went through, I'm sure my close friends, they know all that. It's not important anymore. Like, you know,
Understand.
it's just one of those, like when you probably resolve some things or you have your closure, it just drops there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those. So I just go
100%.
like,
100%.
yeah, so now it's just Warna for me,
Yeah.
Warni. But yeah, my grandfather is a strong, I always think it'll be rappers, it would be actors, but fundamentally, like, I don't know how he raised me. I don't know whether it's very instinctive. 'Cause I remember like one time I had it was something about shoes or something, and he whooped my ass like I stole something. And
Yeah. It's just a completely different generation.
yeah, and that like it's who I am today. Like, you know, my outlook on certain things is just like, nah, this is strong yes or strong no. I don't want to hear the in betweens.
Yeah.
I got no time for it. I don't care. You know, my true self. Of course, the roles we play, we have a lot of people pleasing and all that. There's a need to be likable and charming. But at my essence, you know, this foundation that I have in my childhood is just as what it you know, at my core, that's who I am. Yeah, I hope I'm sharing enough.
Actually, sebenarnya, it's crazy how much I can relate to your story. Dari segi macam my grandpa, the one I was telling you about, who's not feeling so well at the moment. He was born in 28, so he's from the 20s as well. And a lot of my childhood juga, dia mengisi the fatherly figure role in my life. So as you're speaking, I rasa I boleh relate, and macam benda tu sangat kena dekat I juga. because there's a lot of lessons I learned from him as well that have stayed with me to this day because he was such a big part of my childhood. Yang macam, it's like I didn't realize that a lot of the lessons yang I bawa dalam diri I sendiri adalah lessons daripada generation dia disebabkan influence dia dekat atas kehidupan I, which is really interesting.
Right. So he definitely, he's
from the war. He's like, his outlook is different.
I think my grandfather, if I'm not mistaken, was either 1920 or 1922. Yeah, and I think like, to me, like when you shared earlier also, parts and pieces of your grandpa, I could feel it. It almost felt like now when you tell me he's 1928, I feel like he's my grandfather's era's neighbor.
Must have been.
You get me? If my grandpa was alive, 100%. I'd be like, yo, you wanna go kick it?
Gang lah.
Yeah.
And I faham sangat dia punya macam, my grandpa also, which I can relate to your story. He was one of those just like, it's never gonna stop. Kalau dia tak sakit, he was the guy that was like pushing 80, tapi nak buat semua benda by himself lah. He's not gonna, he does not delegate. He does not want help because he feels less.
Right.
And dia dah terbiasa buat benda alone. And that was a lot of part of the example that I received juga growing up.
And I noticed that generation and the generation after, they are very resourceful. They fix TVs themselves. They fix fridge themselves.
Yeah.
They do plumbing. I remember like when I was growing
100%.
up, my uncle, he would include me in the plumbing
Discord.
I know. We actually revamped the entire plumbing.
Wow.
Like, when I left home, I could never find those kind of men around me. So that's why, even though I want to talk about like the dark side, the light is that, I got to see such people performing at such
capabilities.
Like they probably buy a book and read it out and like, okay, this is how this is what works, and and calling like a plumber is like defeat.
Calling a plumber tak boleh because firstly duit.
Duit.
Kenapa nak kena membazir duit dekat benda yang kita boleh buat sendiri? Semua kita boleh buat sendiri.
So
itu memang that generation.
But about the childhood, have I shared what?
100%. It's completely up to you.
I feel like I just spoke 1%, but that's what it is lah for now.
Faham. I rasa macam I sangat setuju dengan you dari segi macam kalau benda tu dalam diri kita dah move on.
Right.
And kalau kita sendiri rasa macam that's a chapter yang dia tak berbaloi to revisit pun. Sebab nanti, like for me, there are some things in my childhood yang saya takkan bercakap openly juga. Because if I do that, pertama sekali it's about the message yang kita nak convey kepada orang kan. Maybe there's inspiration in it. Tapi at the same time, kalau I buka balik chapter tu and benda tu akan mengikut I, mengganggu I, then there's no point in it. So it's as much as you're comfortable with it, did you?
Yeah, I think it's just what I can remember off the top. Sometimes I also wonder, like, was I a popular kid? Was I a nerd? Was I a this? But I think you just got to get to the next step. That you forget the last step.
Betul.
Sort of like you no longer keep it like 4K at the back of your mind.
100%.
But I do remember the umbrella of it all. At one point in time, I felt like it was pain. I just go like, yo, man, it's beautiful. It was colorful. I wish those around me that played a part in my upbringing, I wish them well, whether we're in touch or we're not in touch.
In a weird way, everything is beautiful sebab kalau itu tak jadi, kita takkan ada kat sini.
For sure.
So it's part of it.
Betul.
Hi guys, it's me Amy again. Ingat tak hari tu Amy ada cerita pasal 2 air unik dan baru daripada 𝙗𝙗 Coffee untuk kempen 1000 warna 𝙗𝙗 sempena bulan Ramadan. That's right, you already know I'm talking about the Vietnamese Spanish latte dan juga the watermelon berry refresher untuk sahur dan buka puasa. So it's super convenient. It comes in a 1 liter bottle which makes it sangat portable dan sangat convenient. So contoh, kalau korang nak pergi berbuka dekat rumah kawan ataupun rumah family, sangat senang untuk bawa air ni sekali. Ataupun kalau korang terdesak, let's say you're stuck in the car, you're stuck in traffic, okay, this is gonna be super convenient untuk korang berbuka juga. So walaupun Amy dah try hari tu, apa kata kita try sekali lagi. Let's start with the Vietnamese Spanish latte. Let's try. Korang tahu dah, ni memang my favourite lah gang, come on. And it's really good. Untuk korang yang tak tahu, actually Vietnamese Spanish latte ni adalah top pick peminat 𝙗𝙗 Coffee. Apa kata kita try the watermelon berry refresher? Another one of my favourite sebenarnya. So untuk korang yang dah try dah air ni, I'm sure you love it too. super refreshing guys, dengan flavor watermelon dan berry yang ada kat dalam air ni. Oh my god, I love it guys. And jangan lupa yang korang boleh bawa ke mana-mana lah kalau korang nak berbuka dekat rumah family or friends. This is always gonna be my pick. One more thing untuk you guys, jangan lupa di mana saja korang berada, Zus Coffee sentiasa ada di sisimu. Happy fasting, and let's go back to the show.
So okay, next kind of chapter I guess is like during zaman sekolah semua tu, how did you get into
Music.
rap? Yeah, and music in general. Macam apa? Was it music first or was it just like no rap from the day one?
Yeah, I mean like, but don't hold me accountable to it. I think
Tak apa.
initially I think cause my mom, I told you my mom is Molaf, right? So my mom is Punjabi. My mom was born Punjabi. So I grew up with some exposure towards that culture.
Yeah.
And I think I learned that, not I think, I know, I was taught tabla.
You learned the tabla?
Yeah.
Oh my, so my grandpa sebelum dia sakit,
Right.
my family loves music.
Right,
So
right.
my auntie akan main piano.
Right,
Kadang-kadang
right.
my uncle akan main violin bila dia datang balik. And my
Right.
grandpa's instrument of choice sampai sekarang, walaupun dia tak boleh bercakap dengan orang, kadang-kadang dia kurang dengar, dia akan main tabla dia.
Faham.
Yeah.
Is it the two?
Yes.
The big one on the left and the small
sometimes
one?
it's like, it depends on mood.
Right.
Kadang-kadang dia ada yang satu tu yang kanan kiri. So dia macam ni.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's so
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
So for me, I
Tabla.
think, I think it was. Was it tabla? Yeah, it was tabla.
Must have been, huh?
Pardon?
Must have been.
Yeah, but I remembered I hated it because of the training. Like you have to like keep doing it.
Nampak macam senang.
I didn't like the training, of course. Like every
Yeah.
kid, they don't like the training,
Yeah.
right? But then I remember there was exposure towards music. And then, I don't know, I heard a lot of, I think there was a lot of, I don't know which era these songs were from, like ABBA and all this kind of stuff. Not by my choice. Okay? Then my next source was, I think, when we got Astro. So I think it would have been radio because my grandfather was an old school guy. So it's like radio at 4, you know, and he'll play his old, they call it tuner. You have to put the area,
antenna or whatever,
and
somewhere
adjust,
in it.
right? And I'm too, macam, I was just still normal about it. But now here's where I want to share it with you. Imagine basketball court
Okay.
di tengah hutan, because I'm at my uncle's estate,
Okay.
right? So we're at a basketball court. That means rakan kerja pakcik saya punya anak, jiran dia lah. So kita stay sini, mamat tu kat belakang lah. So him and I used to like, he plays basketball. I'm not really a basketball person lah. Tapi you know, just I'd say throw hoops lah, they call it, I think.
Yeah.
So lepak borak. And him and I used to be like, dia kawan lepak lah. Because I think umur kan. So usually kita akan lepak. Bayar-bayar kita kan. So we were at the basketball court. So so kawasan Riada tu, it's like ada basketball court, ada tennis court, ada pool dan sebagainya. So he starts looping this piece of lyric. Cause I am whatever that you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am?
Okay.
In the media, the news, every day I am. Radio won't even play my jam. And that's Eminem's The Way I Am song. So I remembered just looking at him and I'm like, can you repeat that again? That was my pintu. Because and he's just like a kid who's like, I got probably I don't know if he had an elder brother ke elder sister, and dia jumpa lah cassette ke apa yang dia main. And it's just, and I don't know if he's still with it. Does he listen to hip hop till now?
Yeah.
But like I told you, pain. Kadang-kadang kita yang umur 8 tahun tak tahu lah pain apa yang kita ada kan. Tapi kita macam, oh jiwa aku ni. Send help kan. So this guy showed, you know, this neighbor buddy of mine. He tells me this is Eminem. So I'm like, I don't know what lah. I think that was era Walkman ke apa kan. So I think he either gave me a cassette ke CD. I went through the Marshall Mathers LP. And I was like, shit. This guy got a This guy, his emotions towards his mom is like me.
Oh. Yep. I get you. He's got songs that are like really, really raw.
Yeah, and I think it was fundamentally because like my mom was like, my late mom was, she needed psychiatric help, right? So M was talking about his mom, which in today's day and time, we're in the healing culture, we're in the woke culture now. Like, and Eminem can't thrive now, with all due respect. That content now is politically incorrect.
Faham sangat.
Kan, if you see a lot of comedies or programs from the 90s, dia macam
A lot of stuff dah macam tak
macam
boleh.
banyak cancel culture material.
100%.
Right. So dia when he played that, I was like, I mean when he mumbled those, and dia mumble aco tak aco je, but to me it was just like whoa, what's that? You know? So when he gave it, I think I don't remember cassette or CD. I played it. I said, this, your sensei it, love. I said, this content speaks to me. Like, you know, this is for me. And of course, it was rather angry. I don't remember if I was like, you know, but I realized a lot of 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 16-year-olds, I did something inside. I think maybe it could be like that. You're trying to find your place in society, maybe.
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay, Slim Shady, I'm real, you know. I was like, yo, this guy, that, whoa, we go to the B side, which is the, wow, he talk like that about his mama.
Yeah,
you know, like, whoa, you know, and I'm like, that sort of like gave me a sense of like today's culture is like the boys find a role model in Andrew Tate. I think at that point in time, boys found a role model in Eminem. It had that energy. You know, like, of course, some of it could be on the extreme of a certain spectrum, which is, you need balance. You need to be in the middle, right? You need moderation and everything. But it's just that because M had this, I was bullied, we moved around, we went to trailer park, translation B40, and, you know, he was all that. But I think it was just that as a kid that couldn't, like, he didn't grow up in a happy neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. Then finally he probably got this platform, which is his album, a record deal, and he decides to let out that emotions. I could relate to it to a certain level. And then from there I just started, I think, then I heard this, you know, throughout other songs, then I heard this one song called When We Ride on Our Enemies, Tupac. I was like, who the is this guy? You know? And at that point of time, like, I remember it, like, he was quite like too mainstream. Like, Pac was like a safe, one of the best.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I was around people that wanted you to do like some sort of crate digging, like how much you dig, how much you know, and you try to show off that. I was just a simple kid, like, I'm not really well versed with it. I just found a couple of these. They spoke here, like, just my soul. And then I was like, okay, it had a certain energy to it. I could relate. And these young men were just they were trying to find a footing, unapologetically finding a footing. And I think this is a very adolescent turned young man issue. Especially when, you know, when you don't have, I think there was a point of time when father figures were very not flexible. It has to be very gung-ho.
There's a trope.
Yeah, you know, diorang macam terlalu keras, which is good, but, you know, like I said earlier, and each generation has a certain strength and flaw again. So from there, I just met a few friends. Eventually, I would meet another friend of mine. His name is 𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙎. He would otherwise be known as 𝙁𝙃matic. And, you know, he a hell of an artist, like, you know, always inspires me every time we meet. And then we met around, like, when I think I discovered that Eminem, that moment at the basketball court around age 12. I mean, 𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙎 around 12. The guy that I met at the basketball court, his name is Afiq. If I'm not mistaken, Afiq Nordin. You know, if I'm not mistaken, but I do remember Afiq, you know. And then I would later on meet 𝙁𝙁. And 𝙁𝙁 was just like, yo, man, did you hear the whatever the songs that were out at that point of time, we would talk about it. And then later on, I was online. This was back then. Internet was just like for me at least, those born in the 80s, we know of a time like internet was part-time life. You know, it's very underground, very niche. Like now internet is life, right? It's a way. But at that point of time, internet is something like, it's like a Nintendo, you know, only a few kids will have it or whatever. So I remember I would be on the internet, and then saya cuba cari kawan-kawan lain yang buat rap, buat macam suka minat hip-hop and all that. Then eventually I would come in contact with a guy called 𝙁𝙃, you know, and from 𝙁𝙃, he introduced me to a few people. And of course I would know a few other people, and along the likes of like people like Words Manifest. I call the guy Zarim, but he goes by the name of Mike Recker. 𝙏𝙃𝙄𝙎, who shoots my Bangun video and my Budak flat video, who I later on discover just 2-3 years ago, we're actually related. So, you know, I didn't know all that kind of stuff. And but warna-warni, I told you, right?
Yeah,
it's just
gila.
like I knew the guy who did the video with me on Budak Flat Bangun when I was like 13, 14. You know, we're related,
That's
right?
so
Yeah.
crazy.
But we just didn't know, and that's just the macam bubble I'm in or whatever. But it's just sort of like I'm listening to all this music just to discover me. To speed up the process of discovering me, which all happens at the right time.
Yeah,
You get me?
yeah.
Yeah, and then one thing led to another. I'm learning how to... I've never put this out in an interview, but I think, you know, tak tahu how long we all will live. Like now I'm at that age, right? But I just want to put it out where, you know, the ones that helped me put together make me understand rap were like 3 people. One is Words Manifest, the name I told you. Through 𝙁𝙃, I would later on get to know a few gentlemen. You mentioned Diamonds. So Diamonds, through 𝙁𝙃, I will get to know Regan. And then also I would know Nakib, right? So the guys that sort of like, okay, kalau nak main bola, ni technique or whatever, right? So it would have been Words Manifest, it would be Nakib, and then there will be another guy called 𝙏𝙃𝙄𝙎 from 542. These were all during the internet, you know, like, oh, and then you'll talk to friends like, yo, sebenarnya aku belajar ni apa lah, and yeah, and then just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next thing yang kita dapat jumpa from coincidentally the internet,
Right.
which is very different sekarang daripada dulu, was college dropouts. So I
Right.
mean cerita-cerita sebelum tu mungkin was at a time di mana macam evidence tu takkan ada on the internet anymore, but college dropouts was the first thing yang kita dapat jumpa. So I wanted to ask you questions about that, I guess. Like, how did that come to be?
Like,
Apa
yeah.
konsep di sebalik tu?
Right.
Are we missing any pieces in between?
Meaning, like, what do you mean?
Meaning
by
like,
missing
okay,
any
so
pieces in
you met
between?
the 3 people who are very, very important to you, and I'm imagining that this is like secondary school kind of timing.
Yeah.
12-13
Yeah.
must have been.
Again, we are like on the internet, right? You know, like now you have Instagram where people like from Perak and Selangor just like can feed, because you have the video thing. Back then, that video thing was called a webcam, and you have to like all
Tu
lah,
pun
you
macam
know.
kalau you lucky, kalau internet connect,
Betul,
baru boleh
betul.
pakai.
I don't know if you come. My time, every time when you connect,
Tin.
betul,
Yeah.
you know, so that one is like, and it's called dial-up. You don't have like fixed rates, like, you know.
Okay, I kena just buat disclaimer sikit untuk
Right.
90s sikit yang tengah tengok.
Right.
Kita pernah rasa sebelum
Dial-up.
wujudnya internet.
For real.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
that-
in my child, I tak tahu mungkin sebab
so
kita
that
tak
means
mampu
probably
apa.
you're millennial as well. Like
No, I am a millennial.
word. So millennials
Yeah.
know like before internet, like getting on the internet is like if you're a good kid and if you're scoring usually.
100%. And tu pun macam you have like a masa terhad.
yeah, you know, it's macam like I don't know these days apa yang I think these days probably budak-budak yang nak jadi content creator probably face that kind of limitation. Like they're allowed to be on the internet, but what you do on the internet, maybe if they want to be content creators or influencers, because
Maybe.
lately we're listening to about a lot of like how children's relationships with education and this
Yeah.
idea of, you know, that's that. I think back then punya issue was that because kids want to be on the internet, cyber cafes and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm just speaking in terms of like I feel you, bro, you know, that kind
I
of stuff.
feel you. I remember the time where I was trying to feed my Neopets.
Neopets. Okay.
Neopets.
That's like the
Siapa yang
Digimon
tahu?
stuff.
It was kind of like a Digimon. Tapi it was a website and you could have like pets and
Right.
like feed them and stuff. And then kalau my mom angkat telefon, angkat call dekat atas in the living room, I tak boleh main dah because the dial-up is all connected with your phone line.
Word.
Yes, I feel you. I feel you.
And then Streamix was like life.
Oh, yeah.
When Streamix happened, like you just
It was like, what?
yeah, you pay 99 a month and you're like, yo, I'm a boss.
Yes.
I am boss, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, like so question is about college dropouts.
Yes.
So through Warid, I would later on learn to get to know this guy called Firdaus 𝙁𝙊𝙀𝙄𝙎, and he was like in the my initial rap collective that I was part of. What is called VIP. You know, like that's where a bunch of us get together, and of course, I think I was almost the youngest, so I would learn, you know, and you would have a person who you would listen, you will get to know different types of people where some people listen to albums trying to dissect the, like how the album was put together. Some will dissect like the lyrical part of it, you know, and it's so elaborated, you'll be just like, okay, aku tahu lagu sedap ke tak sedap je, but they'll go into the whole science of it, if I may, right?
Yeah.
So lepas tu kita akan jumpa, and also at that point of time bila I nak berjinak dengan music, dia ada this culture called knowledge. Like very important to know, hip hop ada 4 elemen, dia bermula daripada mana dan sekian-sekian kan. So this is where I would learn with the gentleman in VIP. And then Warid would introduce me to IQ. 𝙁𝙀𝙁𝙀 lah, we call him. And 𝙁𝙀𝙁𝙀 would be friends with, if I'm not mistaken, Reza, who is Arez's brother. Arez is, the world knows him as 𝙁𝙃. That's one way lah how like the college dropouts would occur. And also at the point of time when we were on this rap community online, 𝙁𝙃 was also a part of it, you know. And 𝙁𝙃 always had a very commercial outlook on things. He always had a very polished, like he was more about fun, getting the crowd going type of music. You know, and us also being friends with some, you know, music ada banyak jenis kan. So 𝙁𝙃 was about like very move the crowd, very commercial, you know, very commercial thinking kid at that point of time itself. So I think maybe when we were 17 or 18, because we knew of each other, and then there was RQ in the group, DJ RQ and Boy, 4 of us in the group, right? That's how, like, we were just toying around and like, why not? And we just got together for this Astro program, Blast Off. I think we were talking at Blast Off too. But of course, we were young boys. Everyone had ideas.
Yeah.
We finally decided to get together at Blast Off 3. That means a year passed by and, you know, everything. So I think maybe everybody felt like, man, Blast Off 2 terlepas. What's this? Like, are we doing it or are we not doing it? And
Yeah.
so I think the general consensus at that point in time was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so we did.
Why not learn?
Yeah. And then, of course, it was a great lesson for me. We will learn, you know, colorful lah, Amelia.
Colourful experience.
Yeah, colorful experience. And then
Very colourful experience. Diorang menang. Menang second runner up.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we eventually disbanded.
Why? I mean, you guys dah menang dah at this point kan?
Yeah. I think I'm not quite sure if Arez and I couldn't see eye to eye at that point of time. I'm not quite sure. maybe that's, if you ask Aris, I don't know, it's him, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we couldn't see eye to eye. Or all of four of us couldn't see eye to eye. I don't know what
Yeah.
it was. But what our goals were individually were different. So I think there was so much so as a group we could do. Because like we
Yeah.
had 4 different goals and challenges.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens, kan?
Yeah, so, and I could, which was great for Aris because then he would eventually go release his, whatever he would then share with the market. That was lovely for him, yeah.
So around this time, selepas you guys disbanded, there was like a period like 2007, 2008 that there wasn't really much kita boleh jumpa.
About me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was happening during that time? Because I know what happens after this. Like you start doing a lot more freestyle battles, it's craft.
Right,
And
right.
that was like in my head the craft chapter of your career. Tapi
Right.
di antara benda ni, what was the thing that you were trying to figure out? Dah decide ke yang this is going to be your future career? Were you still trying to figure it out?
Right. So I think for me, it's like, I think I always wanted to be like, at that point of time, a full-time rap fan.
Full-time rap fan.
Yeah, like I just, macam orang selalu tengok bola ni.
Yeah.
Semua orang yang tengok bola, bukan semua orang akan represent Malaysia. But
Betul?
the passion,
Yeah,
like bola
the
is life.
ultras. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm the same. Like I just tengok lagu kan time tu. Then suddenly it's like, hey, you can rap too lah.
Join je lah sekali.
So we did that. And then, so of course, Blast Off 3 was very, it was a wonderful boost. Like you, macam boleh je kan. But then I'm just like, yo man, I like this. I'm checking that out. I'm checking this out. So what you would describe my craft is, I'm just working on my craft, so to speak. I'm not working on my business plan. I'm not working at my strategy. I'm just working on my craft. I like this, I like that. And, from an industry point of view, what I've learned is that, you cannot be like A, B, C, D, G. We got to know you for one look, for one image, for one sound, and then we can bring you to market. This is how I understand it. At that point of time, I'm just like, I nak try midfield, I nak try left wing, I nak try right wing, I nak jadi keeper sekejap, and I'm just enjoying macam lemas dalam this game of music lah, ataupun rap that time lah kan. So after Blast Off 3, I'm just like, I'm still just dalam latihan, I would say. Just, I pun tak sure if I can, ada barang ke, ini barang boleh jalan ke kan. So, I would just join what would be known, I would say it as closed circuit. Closed circuit lah, macam ciphers ke apa kan. Because, dia, rap ni ada macam, ada satu spirit bravado. Like, yo, they have that a bit kan. So kita pun nak tahulah macam betul ke boleh rap ke you apa kan, you ingat you shot sendiri ke apa kan. So there was 7, 8, 9. I was very engaged with events that I think maybe because it was not on mainstream platforms, maybe it's not considered like work lah, I don't know.
Oh no, it is.
Yeah, but it's just that lah. So we have Blast Off 3 and then 07, 08, 09, I'm just in the rap circuit. At one point in time, the rap circuit was like everybody almost knew everybody. Okay? And then, eventually, I think with social media, it scales everything. So anybody, anywhere could just get in at any time and, just do your thing. And you could be hot and you could probably come out as straight up like, Amelia could be from Terengganu with a hit and I wouldn't know anybody that knows you. But at one point in time, semua orang kenal semua orang. If you get what I mean, kan?
Actually, sekarang dia sama lah, I rasa.
You rasa
I
sama?
think our industry is really small. And
Semua orang
our
kenal semua
country
orang.
is small.
Right.
Last kita semua macam daripada 7 degrees of separation jadi 3 of 4.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
7?
Yeah, that's what they say, right? There's the saying.
I thought it was 6. 6 degrees of separation.
Entah, tapi dekat Malaysia, I rasa dia macam
7.
lebih kepada 2 ataupun 3.
Wow,
Yeah.
could be facts, could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's 07, 08, 09. I think I also was trying to find out, like, I needed to work because there's this thing kalau you macam terlalu macam parking lot rap, like battle ke cypher, you don't tend to sound good in the studio. This is at least like a lot of rappers, they will know this lah. Macam kalau you're the bars ke apa kan, does not mean that you will sound good in the studio, and does not mean lagu you sedap. Dan dalam dunia music business, lagu sedap tu is satu keperluan lah. Dia bukannya bonus. Dia perlu macam adalah hukum-hukum dia you kena penuhi kan.
Faham.
So for me, I came into this as a macam from a lyrical standpoint. I pun tak tahu banyak benda kan. So that's why I say like a rap fan, like you know, dengar apa dia cakap, bukannya macam mana dia produce, apa sound ke kan. So I was just taking my timeline in that regards. Like the more I join in all these events, macam adalah macam good news from these events.
Yeah.
I go to the next one. Bina keyakinan diri lah slow, bata per bata.
I have a question.
Please.
So, okay, firstly, I baru belajar yang sebenarnya the freestyle battles and stuff tak ada kaitan dengan, bukan nak cakap tak ada kaitan, tapi kadang-kadang tak menggambarkan skill dari segi macam recording. Sebab I always thought macam kalau lakonan kan, you have like theatre and you ada film and TV. So I selalu
you
fikir
ada theatre
and film and TV.
Film and TV,
Acting.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
roughly lah.
Benda ni sama ke?
Normally, orang cakap on paper, theatre tu is a very good foundation.
Okay.
Yeah. Tapi I would agree that kadang-kadang kalau you pakar theatre, tak semestinya you akan menyelah dekat film and TV. Tapi most people say that if you have a theatre background, it preps you for film and TV.
Faham.
Yeah. And I would assume sebagai seorang rapper, bukan I sebagai seorang rapper, I would assume one as a rapper, right?
Right.
Kalau dah boleh buat the freestyling stuff, bukankah itu adalah satu stepping stone for you to be like an incredible, well-rounded? Sebab on the flip side, if you're just a recording artist who makes rap music, but you cannot freestyle, are you still a rapper?
I mean, there was a point of time when it was important. So there was a point of time where, you know, like rappers would want to be MCs. And MCs is more about depth, substance. And now I'm not quite sure if there is
that same thing
if it's
anymore.
important or not.
Faham.
Because like okay, I don't come from the dunia berlakon. So I don't know kalau ada orang buat sekadar content dekat social media dan lebih ramai orang dekat Malaysia kenal dia. Kalau dia terus, I would assume macam the album format of movie, I mean
the film industry,
berlakon is movie.
Yeah.
I would assume that's like this macam feature film is sama dengan long play album contoh.
Yeah.
Kan? Like you want to see how many movies you've been through kan?
100%.
Kan? So I don't know now macam mana penerimaan kalau ada orang dekat dia macam he does content, he's comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah.
He can put together the scripts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he moves on to be a film star.
Yeah.
How is that regarded? Contoh lah. Will that, I would assume based on my journey, orang yang betul-betul berpengalaman dan dah makan garam akan ada kritikan membina.
Betul.
To really bring out that this is the seniman in that individual lah.
100%.
Individu tersebut kan. So it's the same thing for me. It's like even though you can freestyle ke apa, dia tak berarti you boleh terus ada hit record ke apa. Sometimes you mungkin lucky, but you're not really like full on like mentally prepared, skillfully prepared ke apa kan. It's just because when you can freestyle, you can just probably put some words together. But then if you meet a lot of songwriters like wow, some of the best songs in Malaysia are not written by freestylers. So you know it does help, but it doesn't guarantee you like dunia ni kau punya mat. It's not that. I don't think it's that way lah kan.
I have another question for you.
Yeah, please.
Sebab I know you're the type of person yang memang suka. There's like dia bukan saja dari segi macam a reductionist perspective on your work kan, which is like a very close up.
Come again.
Like a very close up perspective on your work.
What was the word you said?
Reductionist.
Reductionist.
The opposite of reductionist is holistic, when you look at things from far away.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So what I've noticed daripada kita punya macam conversation dekat luar dan juga dekat dalam some of the things you say is that you're in the detail work.
Right.
Tapi if you take a step back and you look at it dari luar, right, as an overall body of work,
Right.
ada plan yang lagi besar juga.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And so my question is, when you first started as craft, was this part of the plan? Was this to give you some space to try different things before committing to the... Because macam you cakap tadi kan, when you have like a brand, orang expect like, this is the brand and brand ni akan jual ABC, ataupun this is the
Right,
rapper and
right.
sound dia akan XYZ.
Right. Okay.
Was this always your plan?
Now, so earlier I told you I wanted to be like a rap fan, right?
Yeah.
My next aspiration was, impian saya yang seterusnya is I wanted to be a ghostwriter. So, and at that part of the culture or whatever, to be a ghostwriter, you need to be respected. Hence why the freestyles and whatever. I just wanted to be like, yo, Amelia, I want to write a song for you. Boleh ke tak? And you'll be like, boleh. Contoh kan.
Faham.
Get that boleh was a lot of work.
I can imagine.
Because it's not like kita terus viral ke apa. It's not whatever lah kan. So I did that in terms of my next goal. I just want to be a ghostwriter. I wasn't looking to be a star. Like, it's not that I'm scared to be a star. I was just like, yo, I like this. Macam, I tak nak jadi jurutera Mercedes. I nak jadi the macam kalau bab modify kan. And modify is not really a commercial market.
Yeah.
You know? So that was just what I wanted to do. And I just like, okay, you know, then you would learn, I would get to know other rappers as well who I learned from as well, you know? So daripada ghostwriter, then it would be like, aku perlu lagu catchy ya. Then I would do the next thing.
Yeah.
I find, like I was always like, I had personal goals. Whether you know about it or not, macam I'll be like, next I nak buat ni, next I nak buat tu. And that's how my journey has been.
Tapi walaupun the niat is to become a ghostwriter, life kind of had a different plan for you lah. Because 2009, at 22 years old, you joined Think You Got Skills, Freestyle Rap Battle, you got the MVP award and you were the battle champion. You started winning.
Right.
So it wasn't just like macam you dapat skills dekat sana, you were also shining in this period of your life. And also your first radio hit, right? Diamond, it won the best hip hop and urban song and song of the year awards at the VIMA 2. Am I saying that right?
Right.
Yeah. So you started getting recognition and stuff like that. So sebelum kita break down all of the stuff that was happening, pasal freestyle sekejap.
Right.
Now, this is one of the most insane things I pernah nampak ever. We watched a bunch of your freestyle videos. I think that your brain has to be working at like macam 200 km per hour untuk cipta like how... I know this is not a teachable skill. I'm sorry,
No,
you ada ni tak ada?
No. I think like I may not be a good teacher. But with a good teacher, you can definitely learn this skill.
Is
like,
it?
Yeah, with any other skill.
So you just think of the rhyme macam serta-merta macam tu
No, I
macam...
mean, they have like a methodical approach. So like freestyle, apa yang I faham, dia ada like what some people like to say free verse. So berarti sebab dulu you would need to have like beberapa verses. Verses ni adalah macam 16 baris lah. Like 16 baris tu is ada 16 baris yang rappers akan kata satu verse. Contoh.
Okay.
So like 16 baris, it encapsulates that spirit. Because you're only sharing your verses.
Yeah.
Daripada verses you, kita boleh nampak corak penulisan you, subject matter you. Like I told you, in the pocket, macam mana, I suka Mamat ni punya rhyming ke, timing ke, dan sebagainya. So there's an era where freestyle was not, dia tak bererti macam dia betul-betul spontan. Tetapi dia adalah macam orang ni mungkin dia tak ada record deal. Dan salah satu untuk dia create word of mouth is dia akan ada mungkin 20 verses. So because dulu kita tak ada kamera ke apa, so I mungkin pakai satu verse dengan you, which later on I akan share minggu depan ke 2 bulan kemudian dengan your camera guy, like meaning to say dia dalam community rap tu lah. This is like from what I've understood based on my findings. So you have that definition of freestyle, which is often people now, to be politically correct, they call it free verse.
Right.
You know? And then another version of freestyle is your free of style. Because bila you tulis lagu, you kan ada macam subject matter. You tak boleh tiba-tiba nak cerita Sembang and then tiba-tiba you nak cerita pasal like I don't know pasal cawan ni.
Yeah.
It's a bit like you're not on the topic.
Yeah.
And so you have a few verses that's free of styles or free of topic that it makes you like, you know, that's your way of expressing. So you akan ada beberapa. And then a lot of people, hey, Amelia, you freestyle? Yeah, okay. And I will be like, I will share my verse yang mungkin adalah dalam contoh lagu Budak.
Right.
But because I tak ada the means to go and record, back then it was analog. It's a big, like the recording process itself is big money back then juga kan. So when we meet, eventually I probably go tell, hey, you pernah dengar tak this one wanita ni Amelia, dia ada, wow, oh my god. And you know, word will spread, and maybe a record producer will go like, find me this Amelia.
Wow, it's like a super
So this is back then. This is how I'm trying to learn, trying to know more about it. That's one way. Then eventually what happens is these rappers will up the ante. So instead of having like a bunch of verses in their head, they become spontaneous in the moment. So they will like, you know, cawan warna biru macam awan and blah 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 blah. You know, they'll go on like that. And some people will appreciate the spontaneity and some people would appreciate the research and preparation in the free verses. Yang I dah ada 12 verses ni tapi tak tahu nak letak kat lagu apa, beat apa kan.
Yeah.
So bila I jumpa you, I share. It's like a spoken word but with rhythm lah.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, wow, and you'll be like, oh, baik ni ke, tak lemat, you kena tulis lagi sekali. Whatever lah, the market feedback. But I'm talking about this is how I understood things were in America.
Yeah.
Kan, dia kan, cara dia kan. So that's about the freestyle.
Yeah.
The freestyle definasi lah.
Yeah.
When you asked me if it was spontaneous or not. Yeah.
No, I was asking like, I was just
Sorry,
asking about it in general. I'm like,
Right.
I was so impressed. I tak tahu. Because for me, if I tak tahu cerita di sebalik tabir yang, I mean, I will imagine lah. I'm sure if you are doing this consistently, it's practice juga. Lama kelamaan, you akan build your vocabulary and mungkin linkkan perkataan lebih senang dalam otak. So it can keluar secara spontan. But when I watched you in your battles, a lot of the rap that you were performing seemed like you wrote it on the spot. Kenapa saya rasa macam tu? It's because you masukkan benda-benda macam, it's like if I had a rap battle with you, the way you were doing it is you were incorporating like a logo that was on the other person's baju.
Yeah, I mean, because those were the gentlemen that I was with as well. They had the ability to do the same.
Yeah.
And of course, like I told you, at one point in time, kita semua hampir kenal each other.
Yeah.
So, selain daripada whatever event yang kita buat sama-sama, the recording yang kita tengok, these were people that we also directly or indirectly train with. Kita berlatih sama-sama.
Yeah.
Kan? So, the ones ada writers, ada yang dia boleh spontan. So, usually when someone spontan tu, dia macam, he brought the heat ah.
Yeah.
Because, dia boleh, at that, then, dia macam, I think comedies, like, macam, I don't know, like, do comedians kan macam stand-up comedy dia ada material.
Yes.
But sometimes when they interact with the audience, you wonder like, was that
stuff.
Yeah, itu betul spontan ke atau dia memang dah macam okay, kejap lagi aku akan borak dengan orang yang baju warna-warni.
Yes.
And then apa response dia, and that could be it. And then there are some individuals yang memang dia spontan. Dia ada dia punya material, but kadang-kadang kan ada audience cakap apa and they can interact with that.
Yeah.
So I think spontan yang macam rap secara spontan ni, it increases the authenticity of engagement. And people feel more in the now. I don't know. I think that's what it is. But there's no wrong or right way to do it. Because like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not the best person to be the spokesperson for this, but tahap dunia punya freestyle battle sekarang, they come prepared. It's not 100% spontan. Kalau spontan pun is mungkin icebreaker. Similarly, the way a stand-up comedian would probably break the fourth wall dengan the audience kan, and then get back to
their material
what
yang
you
memang
paid
diorang
for,
dah,
so to speak lah kan.
Yeah.
So even at a global level, most of them have some level of preparation.
Yeah.
And spontaneity is not the sole merit. It's one of your many
Yeah.
skill sets lah, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because intonation matters, how confident you
Yeah.
say it, or macam mana you menganjing orang tu. You kalau cuba menganjing and you very monotonous, kadang-kadang tak sampai. And this is all performance lah. I think in theatre you have that lah. You have
Yeah.
to say it like you mean it or dan
Yeah.
sebagainya.
Yeah.
All this matters. So it's not just good lines atau sekadar spontan. Because there are videos yang sekadar spontan tapi you'll be like,
Tak seberapa jadi.
yeah, you know, macam, yo, mic aku hitam.
I like to eat plums.
Yeah, you know, and then it'll be like, macam you'll be like, nah. But then some people come with the heat. Like if you see there are a lot of rappers in Malaysia now, they got bars for days. And
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there was an article that I tak tahu diorang quote you betul ke tak. Tapi during this time, I think macam dalam semua artis punya career, there is like a period of like investment. And for me, apa yang this means is like the period before you kind of like make it and you're in the day-to-day, like let's continue making this happen. Tapi masa sebelum tu di mana macam investment dari segi tengah nak belajar skills, tengah nak figure out where you want to go, tengah nak cuba nak establish yourself. And for most people, kecuali yang datang daripada mungkin latar belakang yang senang, this is a period of sometimes financial stress. Sebab a lot of the times kita nak kena keluarkan duit untuk belajar benda baru, keluarkan duit untuk pergi tempat untuk orang nampak kita, benda-benda macam tu. Tapi in your story, there was one article that was written where you said macam there was one time 4 hari you tak makan. What was that?
No, I think so back when you asked me about childhood.
Yeah.
And so the formative years, I think when my grandfather died, so I sort of got to learn how to get your own money.
Yeah.
Because at that point of time, he supported me financially.
Yeah.
And, you know, whatever money I had at that point of time eventually runs out.
Yeah.
So I'm not eating, I'm just drinking water. Like, you know, I'm thinking. And then I think I holler at my man. I remember the guy's name, 𝙁𝙊𝙇𝙊𝙀. I'm like, yo, man, Yaki. He's Yemeni. You know, and it's like, yo, I haven't eaten. Can you help a brother out? So it's like 4 days I was like, somebody got to help me. Then I think a light bulb goes off. Like, that somebody is you. And now you need to figure out what you're going to do. And you know, what's your plan A? What's your plan B? What's your plan C? And what are you going to do? So I think somehow I reached out to 𝙁𝙊𝙇. And 𝙁𝙊𝙇 was like, don't worry, Yaki. Don't worry about the money. I'm going to get some tuna cans. I'm going to get some gardenia bread. Yallah, let's go. And then, you know, we ate. So I learned from there, like, okay, this is, and then you start, you see perut you dengan first you talk to people, you know. Then I think eventually you would want to build a healthy level of pride. You want to help yourself before you, like, yo, Amelia, you got, can I have some? And you try to do something. So slowly I build I hope a healthy level of pride, self-love to not get into, because when that 4 days happen, macam dunia macam naik. Now I'm doing like intermittent fasting. So I was like, asal aku tak just puasa je kan, like I did say, why didn't I just do 3 day, 4 day intermittent fasting? So like I tell you once again, it was painful then. It's another week for me now. I just go 3 days intermittent fasting. Okay, so move on. It's not a big deal. You know, get into ketosis. Do something. You're not gonna die. You know.
Get into ketosis.
Yeah. No, I mean.
Faham.
Yeah, you know. So after that, yeah, it was just that. I don't know how they wrote it, but now since you're asking me, so that was that, and I think that was very formative for me. Like, and I think it's also because of the content at that time. What I'm listening to, dia macam, payah betul lah rapper ni punya hidup, and so you sort of like get consumed by that. Until I learned, like, keeping it real doesn't mean you're keeping it real. That's when, like, I was like, okay. So to a certain level, all of this stuff, you know, some of it is art imitate life and some of it is life imitate art. Then as an everyday life, I think we're in Malaysia, we're pretty okay. There's, alhamdulillah, you can You don't need to be hungry for 4 days, kan? So yeah, but at that point of time, I felt back against the wall. You know, the person I love has passed away. I needed him for my survival, so to speak. But then I'm grateful. Life shows me that we good. Let's figure it out. What can we do? And then now we're here, Amelia.
Yeah. But it's crazy how sometimes macam dalam keadaan yang paling terdesak is like the most teaching opportunities, sebab dalam momen yang kita tak ada pilihan, baru kita akan belajar macam mana satu hari nanti bila pilihan tu ada, kita tahu nilai like and the value of that experience and apa yang kita ada.
Could you repeat that again?
So the way that I look at it is that macam it's about macam you cakap, right? Sekarang it would be called intermittent fasting. During that time, it was like 4 days of horror.
I felt the world didn't love me that
yes,
time. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. So the
There
thing
you
that
go.
shifted is the perspective.
That's
The perspective of sekarang ni I tak ada option.
Right.
And the perspective of you today, I ada option.
Yeah, so for me, based on what you shared, the takeaway is like your mindset.
Yeah.
So if only my mindset was geared up like to that intermittent fasting, now I'm like, when I'm doing intermittent fasting, I'm going for walks.
Yeah.
I'm like kicking in. Adalah sometimes brain fog. You're waiting for
Yeah.
your glycogen stores to finish.
Yeah.
And, itu sistem badan lah. Same thing masa puasa pun, that first 2-3 days kita rasa pening-pening nak
The
biasakan
adjustment,
diri. Betul, but once you're in it, you're on it. And again, so it's just a mindset thing.
Yeah. Tapi I think juga, if you don't go through that, you cannot belajar this.
True.
In a way.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. I think ego, like based on whatever you quoted, ego is if it was that and I remained that. But if it was that and I don't remain, like now I'm telling you is intermittent fasting, like,
Yeah.
so there's growth.
Yeah.
So I would not think that's ego. I just think it's every young
Yeah.
kid. No kid is born with parents that got it, figured it out.
100%.
You know, so this is all part of like growing, blossoming. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, you decided to change your stage name to Aman RA. And this was another interview, and this one quoted you lebih correctly lah.
Okay.
Where you said something along the lines of, kalau tak silap lah, tak tahu
Right,
interview ni letak apa,
Right.
that you felt at the time that you didn't get as much success
Oh,
bawah nama craft.
yeah.
And then bila itu kau jadi Aman, it became so much more, I mean Aman RA specifically, right?
Right.
It became so much more like intuitive for you, sebab that's your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way. Itu apa yang dia cakap lah, I tak tahu dia quote betul ke tak.
Betul.
Betul. So why did you think it was the time to change?
To change
Yeah.
my name.
And also, macam mana you rasa you tak berjaya after you won so many awards? I don't understand.
Right. So if I may be vulnerable, Amelia, I think I'm looking for impact. I don't know when I self-elected myself, where I'm a figure some things out, but this journey of self-discovery is going to be useful to 18-year-old me somewhere. Right? So, like, when it was craft, and I say, again, I am very thankful and grateful for the opportunities I had, the Blast Off 3, everything, the battles. I forgot until today. You reminded me about the MVP, and then I forgot about it. Not that I'm not grateful, but I think I'm always just looking for that next. Like, now we are at Pluto, for example. The next, like, I couldn't believe it was a dream. Now we're here, and then I will then deal with another uncertainty that makes me test me, like, can you do it? And from there, I have to acquire new outlooks, new discipline, new structure of discipline, like, and the new rules of, like, we do it like this, we don't do that, or this is what we want. From KL to Penang, there's no stopping. Go. Taya pancit, fix it, move. And there is no kita arena dulu, whatever, like, and new outlooks, new approach for new goals. I feel a lot of growth there. I feel this is what life is about, for me, like, at least.
Yeah.
So when I was doing craft, there is I go through this, alhamdulillah, but let's try to do more for me, you know, like, so I think we did craft, and God bless your soul when you say it's like, oh, you achieved this. Even
mean,
though
you
I'm
did.
sure I have my close friends that would be like, man, this guy is not grateful. This is happening for him, and I just want like the next thing. And I think it was just that, to touch another life.
Yeah.
Just like to just touch another life. You know, I don't know how, just authentically, you know. I feel some of the most beautiful human relationships take place when you touch another life. You inspire them, and I feel that when kita simpan energy macam tu kan, kita macam inspire someone else, then you ada pada satu, I don't know if you call it tahap ke apa, plane lah kan. You inspire and you are re-inspired. And you just sort of grow with that, right? So when it came to craft, I found it to be a bit macam, what's this, man? Like, I saw a lot of some of the best artists use their name. But then there are pockets of like the rap culture, dia orang akan pakai macam
Stage name ke?
yeah, stage name dia mungkin like whatever lah, you know, 20 sen ke or whatever lah kan nama-nama dia.
20.
Yeah. Tapi I think sebab dia macam I'm trying to find the word, Amelia. Like, dia macam, to me, I think I'll just say it as it is, inauthentic. And of course, I met some beautiful souls along the way. So I think diorang punya gurau kasar tu, I took it personal. So diorang sekadar just tunjuk pintu. I just went through a different route and just of self-discovery again. Asal craft ni kan, asal ni kan, asal macam tu kan. Asal kau nak aman kau keju and like what. Of course, back then I had like the smart lines to, because I'm about the cheddar, man, and blah, 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 blah. And tapi, when you do that, eventually I just go like, what's wrong with Aman? You know, like I just felt, what's wrong with Aman? So I wanted to use Aman. I realized like some of the, you know, some artists, not rap artists, but artists, they use their name. So I was like, what's wrong with your name? Why do you have another name? And I have this thing where, you know, when you like, again, so I just like, macam I paint everything, I just break everything down. Because I'm so determined that I am going to be there for me. So we're going to be here again and we're going to do this again. One day you're going to get that nice masterpiece. But some people will be like, oh, but you have done 4 years, 5. So I think when I did craft, I did it all in. But then when I came to this persimpangan, and I just go like, okay, ni semua, break this down. It's not important. Tak penting ni, tak penting. Still very grateful, Amelia, you know. I'm just letting you know like that approach kan. Bukannya I tak bersyukur, bersyukur. And of course, a lot of the steps bila pandang belakang balik, I'm like, damn, kalau benda tu tak jadi, macam mana nak belajar ke apa. Yeah, I have that in healthy amounts. I do. But at that intersection, I just go like, if I did not violently stop all that, how would I make way for Aman RA? 90% of my audience get at me is like, bro, you punya lagu ni, lagu tu. They're not talking about Blast Off. They're not talking about Diamonds. They're not even talking about 𝙁𝙃𝙄𝙎. I don't know if you found out about 𝙁𝙃𝙄𝙎.
No.
Yeah, you know, the 𝙁𝙃𝙄𝙎 is my first Malay song.
Wow.
Yeah, because I wanted to it was synonymous to me wanting to be a ghostwriter. So I did all this freestyling stuff. And to me, the biggest obstacle, because I'm sure the rappers that was then, they know macam to have a hit song was so hard at that point of time. You would do so well at the parking lot, but nanti bila nak ada lagu yang sedap, memang makcik you pun rasa sedap ke apa, benda tu susah sebab kita maklumat mengenai how to put a song wasn't that ever ready. Kan? Or rather available lah kan. So we move on, and then again, Beautiful Souls, Gurau Kasar dengan I probably took it like, hey, money deep though. And that made me think. Then I was like, I remember when I wanted to do, there were a few friends I bincang, I tanya pendapat, kau rasa macam mana? Kau tak payah, kau craft dah kan. Kau dah berapa tahun tu, kau dah buat ni, kau dah buat tu kan. And I just felt so, like, if I may share, if I market Aman enough, we don't need to talk about craft anymore, kot. So, you know what I mean? So I just went like, I think everybody's concern is more of like a marketing effort.
Yeah.
That's about it. It's a marketing effort issue. It's not you're going to lose your identity, you're going to lose. Because like Nike before was Blue Ribbon. But not many people know that. They were selling whatever the brands was for Onitsuka, if I'm not mistaken. So it's all the marketing, and then Phil Knight just puts enough attention, enough resources, which is energy, money, whatever, but resources.
Yeah.
Nike. You know, whatever. So at a very garage level, macam in your bedroom, that was just my thinking at that point of time. I say, okay, my niat is I nak pakai nama yang mak I bagi. Because my name is Aman, and my mom's wordplay is Aman. My mom calls me Aman, not Aman.
Aman.
It's Aman. It's meant to be a Punjabi name. And this Punjabi name means 100% the same thing in Malay. So for her was like, lu ada 50% darah Melayu,
This
50%.
is
So it's Aman, Aman. Same, like mirror.
Wow.
The orang Melayu akan dengar Aman, oh yelah tenang, damai. And the orang Punjabi will hear Aman, oh okay, samjhan dia, oh tenang lah kan.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. So then I just went with Aman, and of course I was reading, and from the circuit of like whatever we were doing, the whole freestyle things that you mentioned, of course, having some spirit of bravado, I was reading something about Egyptian era, and I discovered Amun Ra. And there were two things that struck out at that point in time, apa yang I baca, yang boleh ingat kan. Tak semua benda yang kita boleh ingat bila kita baca. The savior of the poor. Something. So I was like, kena lah macam, because I dengar rapper-rapper lain ni, we talk about poverty, they will talk lah how they escape poverty, kesusahan dan sebagainya. I thought that
Savior
was...
of the poor.
Savior of the poor,
And
you know?
Amun Ra was the king of kings.
And the king of kings, because that's very like MVP, like...
Yeah, it's giving.
Six rings, you know? At that point of time, it came to me to that.
Yeah.
But then RA in Islamic world also means, it's a very beautiful term, right? Radi... Yeah, Radi Allahu anhu, right? Yeah, so...
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, eventually that would also catch up. Like, you know, it's like you just tap a bit and then you'll get the other hints like, hey, maybe you want to move this way or that way.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like that. But I was like, Aman, and I look at it and I look at the space, like Aman space, RA capital. This looks good. This looks good. It's like,
Yeah, it's got a ring to it.
like, yeah, you know, then I told a friend of mine who was the engineer for Pantun 100 Kerat. Eventually I did a Pantun 100 Kerat, and then he was like, I said, hey, what do you think, man? It's like, his name is Umay, you know, it's like, aku nak tukar nama aku daripada craft ni ke Aman Ra, apa pendapat engkau? And whatever you share, you tell me, again, God bless you, Amelia. But at that point of time, I felt like a dot. Like, it's just like it's wonderful, but I just feel like a dot. So I'm like, yo, you know, you craft ni. It's like similarly like Kendrick Lamar having K-Dot. At a point in time, K-Dot mattered a lot.
Yeah.
But when Kendrick Lamar came about, it's just a dot. You get me?
Yeah.
So the same thing, like how I just felt a dot. And I was telling Umay like, hey, aku nak tulis nama, aku nak pakai nama Aman Ra ni, apa pendapat engkau kan? And he's like, baik. The way he said it then, baik. Though I remember him being like one of the, like, let's do this, you know? Him, and I had 2-3 other friends. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Like,
The validation that you got.
like, I mean, it's not validation. I think because they
Support.
all say that I can be quite like keras kepala sometimes. I think it's just more like, okay, ngam, because you want to check. Like, you just check, like, I mean, like, what do you think of, and you'll be like, yo.
This is it.
Just because you say it's good doesn't mean it's complete.
Yeah.
But you just go like, okay.
It's got legs.
Yeah, because you just you need to find your tribe. That's
Yeah,
about it. You don't need the
100%.
world. You just need your tribe, and
Yeah.
you're good, right?
Betul.
So similarly, I just went like, okay, ni macam boleh ni. So we did that. And then I moved on lah. Like.
Tapi I think di sebalik tu juga, there's a very important lesson about, I mean, have you heard of sunk cost fallacy?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Off the top, sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
I think when you put enough resources in it, is that
Yeah.
investment bias?
Something macam
It's
tu
like
lah.
because
Basically,
you put so much in.
that you can't pull out anymore.
Yeah.
Yes. So dia ada satu dalam bahasa English, it's called sunk cost fallacy, di mana the more you invest akan membuatkan kita secara automatic, secara subconscious tak nak berhenti ataupun tak nak ubahkan benda tu ataupun change direction
Dah
sebab kita
banyak
rasa macam
sangat kita labur.
alamak tapi dah 4-5 tahun dekat sini takkan kita nak give up. Lepas tu you akan rasa macam I'm a failure because I give up ataupun because I change or because I amend. Tapi tu sebenarnya adalah satu benda yang sangat negatif, the sunk cost fallacy thing. Sebab kadang-kadang kalau kita dah 4 tahun dekat sini, kita dah belajar, kita dah reach something, tapi hati kita dah move on kepada something baru. Kalau disebabkan 4 tahun yang kita spend dekat sini, kita tak ubah ataupun improve ataupun grow, then you akan stuck dekat situ sampai sudah. And you tak tahu apa yang you boleh buat kalau you dah change focus ikut apa yang lalu you cakap kan. So I think that the fact that you were brave enough to like, I mean, after doing all of this, like just be like, no, I know what I'm doing, right? It's pretty impressive juga.
Yeah, but I also have to share, like, in the audience, if they are in the middle of this, like, they're not rebrand. I think because my first one was a great appreciation for my mom, my late mom, man. So I'm like, because I would think, like, mana kau dapat this, tiba-tiba kau nak rap. So I think maybe because for her, she would always say, you know, man, nah, detasi, Aman detasi, Aman Musliman merasi waste, Aman sade waste. So I was like, okay, that means translation. When I gave you your name, Aman, this means Aman is for the Malays, for the Muslims, they'll get it. And Aman is for our people, we'll get it. Because she's born Punjabi, right? But of course, they're more love. She led her Islamic life, Muslim life. So when she said that, I would be like, that's deep. You know, and it was just from my name, that conversation I had with my mom is very, like, and she was very artistic herself, okay? So I feel, sometimes you just want to find out, like, why am I doing this art? I don't know if other artists go through it.
Probably.
I think wonderful artists have great insecurity with their art.
Yeah.
They're not sure. I always have it as fuck sure I am, you know, because artists at the end of the day are like, we are in so much emotions. Okay? So from there, my niat pertama was like, yo, I gotta use this name my mom gave me. I'm sure ada hikmah dia tersendiri. And it seems like
it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. And then the other things was just like, bro, kau dah 4-5 tahun kau dah buat benda tu, macam mana orang dah kenal kau craft kan?
Yeah.
I felt everything else was minuscule.
Yeah.
So it was from intention to vision.
Yeah.
Everything else is just process and how much we can wither or endure. So itu je lah my point of view.
So this next kind of like chapter for you, right? Kembali kepada yourself in a way with the Aman RA, and you came up with Pantun 100 Karat. You also did Budak Flat, but I mean we know, right? The list goes on. But I wanted to ask, di sebalik semua tu, what was the like planning? What was the idea? How did you come up with it? Sebab I baru belajar something kat luar tadi yang I rasa confirm korang tak tahu, which is pada ketika yang Aman RA keluarkan Pantun 100 Karat, sebenarnya the samples of, what's the technical term, sample the
demos.
The demo, the demo of Budak Flat and Bangun dah ada.
Yeah, it was,
so there's an idea sebenarnya di sebalik ni macam mana you keluarkan your music. What was the plan?
I think back then I just wanted to be like it's like a low, mid, and high.
Okay.
So I just wanted to be more of like a hero journey.
Okay.
Because all the artists that I listened to, they seem to have like a hero journey. So for like craft, there was like, I consume and therefore I just produce the same material I listen to. And I told you, dalam perjalanan saya ada orang yang tanya, apa benda ni? Kau betul ke ada ni? Kau betul ke ada tu kan? So, benda tu mencabar dan benda tu juga mengajar kan? And from there, I was just like, okay, like, we, you know, I probably, my idea at that point in time, it would be like, I just want to show this hero is like the low. And then you can see like how he picks himself up, and this is the mids. And then eventually, this is the high. This is like a half-page plan idea. I don't have it all figured out. You get me? But then at the same time, when I'm feeling triumphant, bangun. Like, I'm like, yeah, bangun. Kita akan capai ni. And Budak Flat, it's more of like, you're in between that. Like, you're just you're not really there, but you're not really there either. You know, you're just, I'm feeling good, but life, you know, dalam
Yeah.
proses lah. So dalam pertengahan tu selalunya macam proses dia lah. A and then B, then in between is process lah. So
This
when
is
I,
crazy. Like,
But
it's so
then-
crazy to hear about.
yeah, and apa nama dia? Because earlier you said a name, reductionist.
Yeah. Like the close-up perspective,
Like
essentially.
I'm not very good with details, right?
More of a holistic.
I mean, for me, it's like, because when you say reductionist, that's a dope name. That's a dope word, you know. But it's just that I just like to just ni penting. Everything else it's of value, but it's not essential.
Yeah.
You know. So fundamentally, I do know one song is all you need. But also part of your journey, you do need body of work. It's mixing that. And so when I did Pantun 100 Kerat, what I didn't share with you outside though, Amelia, I forgot to share. That was like my last song initially. Because like I told you again, that craft intersection is
Yeah.
very, very, a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
You're not sure, like I'm winning all that,
Yeah.
but I'm going like, why do I not feel I'm meeting a certain KPI?
Yeah.
I don't know lah, macam this must happen. I must drive this car or I must live here.
Faham?
Whatever lah kan.
Yeah.
Which could be dia macam a bit far-fetched lah. Terlalu macam kau baru kat sini kan, kau jangan fikir yang tu dulu kan, contoh lah. So macam-macam emosi, and I tahu banyak artists dekat luar pun they tend to have that relationship. Sometimes it's the support system. Not all artists are around like with 20 friends that all make it. All on TV, all on radio. No. I haven't seen that collective yet.
I have not seen either. I tak rasa benda tu je.
Yeah, so there's a certain journey that an artist needs to go through. So you'll have 20 yang ada impian kau. 4 yang akan pergi depan.
Yeah.
Dan
Tapi I
dalam,
rasa dengan social media different.
I mean,
I feel like I've seen like famous friend groups or successful. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the marker of social media fame kan?
perhaps, and I'm open to learn more lah.
Yeah.
Tapi in my start, like
Faham.
I can't take into the account of social media now.
Yeah, sebab zaman tu it's
10 years back, or,
underdeveloped.
you know, in that regard. So,
100%,
kan.
100%.
So when I did Pantun, I remember like I told you about, you know, my man, and I think I can't remember what was it about. I think we did this MVP thing or whatever. I won.
Yep.
And I think there was a certain perk of the win. I think for me, the win, what I wanted was the shot to be on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think a certain...
This was 2013 MVP for Word Rap Battle.
Yeah, so I think when I won that, the day my mom died, I got the phone call that says, sorry, bro, your slot got cancelled. So I'm on the way. I got a phone call like my mom passed away. So I'm on the way back. I'm stuck in traffic and I pick up a call. And I'm trying to be professional. You know what I mean? It's more important to be human than it is important to be professional. This is just, I'm about to be in my 40s. I stand by this. There are times you need to be 100% professional. But it's very important to be human because kalau kapal goyang, it's off. Done. You know what I mean? So I decided to still take the call. Somebody was talking, explaining whatever. Long story cut short, kita reductionistkan dia. Amelia, cerita dia, kau tak boleh ada dekat, you know, whatever lah. We don't think you're ready. So I'm like, alright.
This
And-
was for which? For the Word Rap Battle?
yeah, I mean, eventually I think they would get on a different like program or platform
Yeah.
on TV. And that was my journey lah kan. Macam my
Oh
next
my
goal was
God.
to be like, how would I be on TV? But at that day, all I cared about was my mom passing away.
Of course.
So I was like, click. Like, hello, yeah, woo, 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 trying to keep it professional. Do, all right, click. So that's when I went like, you know, I'm also having all this. There are a lot of rintihan yang macam, I think this game is rigged. I think only certain people are on TV.
Yeah.
I think it's connections only. I
Yeah.
think kena ada duit lah.
Yeah.
Apa lah, you know, there's
Yeah.
all sorts of rhymes and reason lah.
Yeah.
We will always try to
Cuba nak pujuk diri kan.
kita cuba bagi ruang kepada alasan. You know? And then 3 minutes later I see my mom. Like, you know, she dah meninggal kan. So, but that day was very like, like I don't get on TV, I lost my mom. And I remember that sort of like changed my perspective. This is more important. This TV stuff is not important. To me, that my mom, that at that point of time, sorting out that event is important. But it like, alamak, tapi aku betul nak be on TV right now, you know? Didn't get on. And so I think I was not sure again. Like, will we be on TV or will we not be on TV? At that point of time, which is 11 years ago, it sort of embodied some sort of KPI. Macam suatu pencapaian yang bermakna lah kan. So, I told my man, like, yo, I'm gonna drop this song. I think I came into the studio like, I had this silent energy, like, my meter is 150 kan. I came in and I say, hey, I got this thing. I'm gonna just record it 3 times. And that's about it. You make it work lah bro. Kalau jadi lah. Kalau tak jadi, engkau je lah ingat yang aku selalu menang all this benda rap ni. Aku tengok macam tak ada apa pun. Aku don't, I keep cooking well. Macam tak ada apa je kan. So then we dropped it and I experienced my, back then punya macam viral was like, you get a lot of like, like Facebook, I think dia macam 10 ke 20 comments kan. Tiba-tiba dia macam beratus beribu that time. Like,
wow.
Like, people I don't know. And again, I told you kan, dulu kita semua kenal each other. This is people yang I tak kenal pun macam, ni baik ni. So it led to another thing. But I had some level of reservation. Macam, okay lah. Macam cuba terima takdir lah. Macam, kau mungkin ada bakat, but just not for you, man. You know what I mean? Because not everybody yang masak eventually has a Michelin star restaurant. This is hakikat yang kejam. There are other aspects that you got to look into for that kejayaan. Similarly, I just look at it, maybe same thing for me. Now I got to man up and accept the, like maybe Amelia je lah yang rasa aku boleh rap. You understand what I mean? At that point of time, I'm just trying to bring you back to about 2013.
Understand.
September 30th. I remember when they called, whatever, I'm on the way. I'm like, whoop, 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 whoop. I'm like 4 turns away from home. You know what I mean? So I drop Pantun. And I think that's when I learned a little bit of non-attachment. Lagu ni jalan, tak jalan, pergi mampus. Like whatever, So we dropped it, of
Still
course.
one of my favorite lines from you ever.
Wow, thank you. And it was just, for me, I just wanted to be authentic. And I did. And then I learned through my journey that when songs, after a certain mileage, don't belong to you anymore. They belong to the people. So I maybe Diamonds pun semua ada dekat radio, but with Pantun I discovered, okay, I met a lot of people who heard the songs, and they tell me that particular piece. I gotta talk about Pantun, like some of these songs like in third person. They will say like, this song hit me, and I don't know if they know, but that interaction that I'm having with them sendiri is an inspiration back to me. I'm like, so there's a back of macam suara dekat suara hati tu macam, apa lagi bukti kau nak, man? Just keep going, man. Like bad day, just keep going. Good day, just keep going, man. And so I just move on. And then I think I did a show and I first felt 2,000 people singing a song that has no chorus word for word. And I'm like, yo, I don't know if fame tastes well or human engagement tastes well. I didn't feel I'm famous at that point in time. But when I rapped and there was like 2,000 people in the crowd, so, I'm not going to say like I had 2,000 people. Yeah, they were our rap community in the crowd too. But when they sang along, I was like, yo, this is love. Like, we got to just keep moving on, So we just kept moving. by any means necessary lah apa yang kita tahu kita buat. And then, forgive me bro, I can't remember. I'm really sorry, but it was one conversation I had with someone and dia kata, bro, kita dengar pantun ni, dah lah tak ada chorus. Kita have, because you see Amelia, when I perform that song, sometimes lagu tu pun tiba-tiba mungkin cut. And me and the crowd, a cappella, we're going word for word. We're going word for word.
There's a lot of words in pantun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are times when I need the audience because I would probably be adrenaline. Because like, you know, when you're on stage,
You're on stage lah,
you're
everyone tengah pandang.
I'm not from the theater background.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to know me better. I think I'm introverted. I don't know if I'm introverted or extroverted.
I agree though.
Pardon?
I would say you're introverted.
Yeah. So, you know, but I'm like, stage is not for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, macam I'm like, nah,
Oh, that's
man.
definitely 100% introverted thing to say.
Right. You know, so there were times, like, I remember, like, I was like, yo, this audience is a rap star. Like, korang need, everybody who's depressed needs to come on stage and experience this.
Yeah.
This is my outlook of the audience. Because, like, they made me feel love. So we're talking about childhood. That guy needed to know, like, one day you're going to feel this, bro. You know? So I was like, wow. It was very powerful. I had not experienced anything like that before. Certainly not during my craft days. So we were going. There were times macam I cakap music kena, whatever reason lah, kadang-kadang sistem ke apa kan. And we're going. Like, tak ada persetujuan dan apalah. We were going. Then, like I said earlier, this guy was like, bro, lagu ni kita semua dah hafal, tak nak bagi kita lagu yang ada chorus ke? Right? So now we go back to my first problem. Just because you can put a couple of words don't mean you can put a couple of songs out. So I didn't know how to put a chorus together. You know what I mean? I'm just like, how do you put a chorus together?
Buat sambil belajar.
Yeah. So I'm like, how do I give? And I think I shared with you earlier again. I tulis Budak flat mula-mula tu, dia macam pantun part 2. Rap je. Okay? And then I'm like, first I did lah. I was rapping. This is not it. Bang. Rapping. And I just had the whole Budak flat beat lah on I forgot what. I'm playing it off the recorder, Amelia. Like, I record it, and then I'm playing, and I don't know why I didn't. I think that time I tak tahu kot how to put it into the player and loop it ke apa kan. So this is this. I'm playing. And then I'm like, I'm on the 𝙁𝙃𝙄𝙎, right? I'm on the C17. And I'm like, all eyes on me. Oh, sorry, we didn't touch another story. Amelia, you don't know this. So 2011, I get into I'm hospitalized. So I got like, I don't know, I think I got 8 stitches on my neck.
Apa jadi?
I mean, you know, I felt a certain sort of way. I approached life a certain sort of way, so I felt sick. You know, so the medical term for it is, nama dia is submandibular abscess. So I macam
You had an abscess in
yeah,
your...
dekat lymph node dekat sini.
Oh, wow.
So dia macam benda ni agak bahaya because I had a doctor friend kan, so I was telling him, ni begok ni ke apa ni, apa hal ni kan. So benda ni kalau dia meletup macam appendix, dia macam nanah tu akan terus, because dia dekat dengan jantung, dia akan terus, kalau dia pecah, dia boleh terus masuk artery and go to the brain. And the body won't have enough time to clear it out. Like when appendix happen, dia macam, it's not a good thing when it happens.
But it's an isolated thing. Like,
But you boleh macam contain it. Like, dia punya marker is sakit.
Yeah.
Tapi dekat sini ni, kalau dia pecah, it behaves differently than an appendix. Right? So I get whatever lah, the surgery long, you know, reductionist. Sakit, masuk hospital, settle, right? But when I woke up from the surgery with 8 stitches, I'm like, I woke up and my friend, man, this guy, he played like, you know, your phone kan, dia letak, dia tengah baring kat sini, dia main. All eyes on me. I woke up to that song. When I woke up, I felt like, it's like, that's right, bro. Ni semua kejap je bro. Setiap sakit ada ubat. Kau dah jumpa ubat. He's also quite like a reductionist. Dia macam, okay,
He's a
sakit kan.
reductionist.
Kau sakit kan. Kalau
Yeah.
dapat ubat kan, what else? Like, your story, you want to talk about the sakit or you want to like, what are we going to do next? So he played that. It's like, bro, I want this energy to go into you. We're not going to talk about what happened. Kau okay ke tak. So he just played that. He sat there for half an hour playing Tupac songs. Like, I was like, okay. So that All Eyes on Me, amongst other songs, like, he played a lot of West Coast songs. Where a lot of like, just, you know, get out, do your thing, achieve. And so that All Eyes on Me sort of spoke to me, lah, you know. I was like, okay, cool. So this is 2011 lah, tutup cerita. So we're coming back here. This is circa 2014, I think, 2015. Sebab Budak Flat is 2016.
Yeah.
I'm on the 𝙁𝙃𝙄𝙎, right? So to that homie, that my man, bro, kau dah ada pantun ni, tak nak bagi, tak ada chorus ke apa kan. So I'm like, okay, and I'm on the C70, and I'm like trying to write the lyrics. Like, okay, I'm on the bike. I don't know what I was doing, but I'm dekat taman lah kan. Tengah malam, I nak pergi beli makanan ke apa. So I'm like, all eyes on me, straight out of AU3. Nak duit segenggam tu kau jadi seguni. Cita-cita di atas 𝙁𝙃𝙄𝙎. So I was just the whole night just cita-cita di atas 𝙁𝙃𝙄𝙎. I was just liking the way that
Sounded,
bounced.
yeah.
On that beat. Then I was like, okay. Then because you know rap has this materialistic outlook. So cara I cari positif dalam keadaan tersebut, I ada kapcai je. Tapi je pun takluk Malaya dengan basikal dengan C70. Like, itu je modal dia. Like, I went to this negara, how did you get them? I had a bicycle and a C70. That's all I needed. Now that country is ours. You know, it's like so boss. You know, so when I wrote that kapcai, I was trying to get that energy. Like, tak apa, I can conquer what's in front of me on this C70. You get what I'm saying? So I kept that word C70 instead of finding of a word that was sedap lah, motor besar ke apa kan.
Yeah.
And of course, dia ada macam segan. Like, why you writing in kapcai, bro? Why you don't have like a whatever again? And this is despite saying all whatever that you shared, Amelia. You said in craft, I had all of these wonderful moments.
Yeah.
But life happens. Up and downs happen. So I did the song. And then I didn't have the first 4 bars. It's like you got the zone merah malaria. That time I lost my mom, so that was like a. I find therapy in songwriting, so it's not I don't have a need to release it immediately.
Yeah.
I already got pantun, so contoh lah kan.
So you
there's,
ada masa sikit untuk macam
I mean, I think it's just therapy for me, like because I'm writing and it helps me macam terima hakikat my mom dah meninggal ke apa. So cepat doh lagu kena keluar, orang nak kena, you know, you gotta macam there's a certain element of therapy within that songwriting in solitude that is very private and precious to me. And when I get in that zone, I sort of don't care. You know what I mean? There were a few songs that you did not mention from Pantun to Budak Flat that were for the wrong reasons, maybe. I just nak cepat-cepat supaya macam, you know, audience nak dengar ke apa kan. Tapi these were like moments yang for Budak Flat, I remembered because, you know, again, my childhood I tak share sepenuhnya, tapi like Budak Flat is like my mom's spirit in it. Because when my mom sent me away, I'm growing up in a bungalow with her dad. She's in the flat, you know, whatever lah, dia punya story ke apa. So I always took it upon like inner child me to like one day I'm a turn life and, you know, it will be an example that blah, 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 you know. Which I did. So while I was writing it and then I'm like, we finish it and I think I try to write certain songs yang macam I remember dari mana John nak ke mana John. I said that to my neighbor. I'm like, dari mana John nak ke mana John, and he responded, Kuala Lumpur, bro. So that's that storytelling of that situation. So I reserved the first 4 bars for me in Budak Flat. Don't know if it's gonna be whatever. I don't know. Hollered at whoever. I remember Murali helped me track the vocals in the studio. By then, of course, I had dah terdedah dengan kepentingan rekod dalam environment yang professional, alat-alat yang professional, kan? So Murali helped me track Budak flat vocals. Saf helped me arrange it. The song, like, didn't have a melody line or whatever. I'm like, nah, it's just this. I want this. I don't want more. I don't want, I was just like, my therapy sounds like this. I don't care what the standard is. By then, adalah pendedahan. Tapi that time, I'm like more of like, my therapy sounds more like this.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the same energy, like, but of course, dia ada macam sedikit macam terikat kepada duniawi lah. I want it to be light, which is, it's good, but I don't think that's the best way to deal with art. Itu pendapat I je lah kan. And so we released it on my birthday, 4/20, April 20th, 2016. Then,
The rest is history.
I wouldn't know history, but it seems like that some sort of history was made.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Where were you? Sorry, I want to ask. Where were you when you first heard that song? Because we meet at Hello video shoot, right?
Yes. Which
So-
is after Budak Flat.
No, Hello came first.
Hello came first?
Yeah,
I don't know where I first heard Budak Flat.
because I remembered, like, because I did like a show in Kuantan, April 2016 for Surya, and I was so excited. I'm like, yo, tuan engineer boleh tak tolong main Budak Flat ni? And I just that time I was like, aku tak tahu aku boleh perform lagu Budak Flat ni dekat stage besar ke tak.
Yeah.
I want to hear it in the concert setting. I was doing some concerts for the tour, right?
Yeah.
Tapi I've not had like a concert tour. Like, it's me, man, on
Yeah.
some, park level shit, level shit, you know what I mean? So when he played it, dia kata, lagu mids kurang. Which is a technical term lah, but and my heart just went like, I mean, I wasn't so worried because it's my therapy.
Yeah.
It's a song for you, but it's my therapy. You can't tell me how my therapy sounds.
Yeah.
Kan?
Yeah.
What do you mean macam mana I kena tulis journal I?
Yeah, faham.
Aku tulisan dari I punya cara lah.
Kan,
Tapi font tak elok lah, It sort of gates to you.
You're like,
kan?
yeah.
Tapi sebab mungkin kalau aku pakai font ni, journal aku lagi baik. And you do have that kind of...
No, I totally understand. I like to paint. And I sent my friend a
Nice.
picture of my painting the other day.
Did you do this?
Yes, I did.
My man.
And then they replied, I think the previous color was better. I'm Rajo. This is not even, I'm not even selling this painting. But I was pissed. I was like, I should never ask me your opinion. I was like so touchy about it.
Right.
Oh, so I completely understand. This is like even more because yours is like a commercial product. Mine is like, it's literally like sharing your journal with somebody and like having to onboard that is, dia sangat vulnerable sebenarnya experience tu.
Yeah, betul. So, and then he played it. But dia non-malicious lah.
Yeah.
Dia just
Sama
macam,
lah.
dia macam, ni aku rasa low end kena round sikit. It's all technical terms. Dia bagi I jawapan yang matematik je cerita ni. Mungkin kau kena tambah sikit ke kurang sikit. But when I heard it, I was like, first I heard it, I was like, wow. It's like on the peak. In Kuantan, at that point of time, it was Kuantan, I heard it. Kuantan 2016. April, I think it was April maybe, because it was the last stop was Kuantan, if I'm not mistaken. Kalau I tak silap lah. So I'm listening to it, and then at that point of time, me and 𝙁𝙃 were doing the video, like, which I told you later on, I would learn we're related.
Yeah.
And we were doing lah apa benda, kita like, yo, nanti kita nak macam ni ke, macam tu, and woo. And then, I shared it with a few people. Nobody told me like, yo, fire though ni. No.
Yeah.
Unless the ones I was working with. Like, I'm sure Saf offered words of support. Murali, of course, offered words of support. 𝙁𝙃 as well offered. Ada, tapi dia macam, we don't know. I think everybody was honest in that regard. It's like, I don't know. So I only berpegang kepada hakikat, this is my therapy. This is a page from my journal. In its own way lah,
That's so scary to release it.
Yeah,
Macam
because
it's
it was
like,
mama, like, merah malaria, biru black Maria, memori nostalgia, mama sakit hysteria, You know, so that's like me talking about my mom, because earlier I told you, because my mom, you know, she had to battle with like mental conditions. So I'm just putting that in, you know, and like the fact that like, you know, that point of time, my outlook was like, this is how B40 is. I'm also now accepting, I think that time I'm starting to have honest conversations with myself, like, yo, this is not broke. This is poverty, bro. What's wrong with you? How long you not smoke rokok John? When we going to get to the 𝙭𝙍𝙊𝙀 cigars? You know, they macam,
Yeah.
like, what are you going to do? 32, still on rokok Johns? Which is not wrong, but kalau you ada ilmu, you ada kemampuan, you should usaha, try. Try to move forward. Like, you know, satu tapak lah contoh. You tengah struggle nak isi minyak motor, the next win is hari-hari you ada duit minyak, you steady.
Yeah.
And from there, you try for the next thing. Maybe, I don't know lah, motor besar ke, daripada motor naik ke kereta ke. I'm not knocking the hustle yang orang macam do what they have to do at whatever level. But for me, it's just that macam, sampai bila kau nak makan nasi bujang? Like just nasi and telur, contoh.
I think it's super relatable.
Yeah, you know, and this is like a paradigm shift antara macam, you know, surviving mindset and thriving mindset. For me lah kan. So for me, I tahu apa senang dan susahnya lah kan. So part of that therapy is in Budak Flat. I wrote like, it's my observation.
Yeah.
You know, I say like, you know, people were like, why you run? Dapur aku, you know,
Yeah.
I forgot how the line goes. Like, dari mana John, nak ke mana John, lah ke kampung. Pasal dah kena raid dengan Bon. Forgot, man. You know, I gotta get back into the lyrics.
No, I get you.
But because it's like substance abuse that happens at a certain level of society and whatnot. And then I release it, and I think I think I'm training myself to be non-attached. Could be a hit. I mean, at that point of time, hit meant
It was like,
I got 1,000 listeners that like listening to me.
yeah.
That's how I gauge a hit.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, for me at that point of time,
Uh-huh.
because I'm not the byproduct of a machine, so to speak.
Is this millions?
Pardon?
It's millions of hits, actually.
Right. Now it's like, I think it's gone like 3 million views, right?
I think it's 4 now.
Wow. Sorry, I didn't keep track.
Tak apa, kita
I,
keep track.
I think I lost track at 100,000 views. I felt like, where's my Tan Sri Award, man? That's, you know what I mean? I just felt
Yeah.
like it was a win in terms of self-conviction.
Yeah.
Percaya pada diri sendiri, berdisiplin tu, berbaloi. You know, it was just these small wins that, at that point in time, 100,000 views was like, yo, what's up, man? Okay, Amelia, I kosong gua payung semua, tak ada hal. You know what I mean? That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And then, you know, one thing led to another. Yeah, you know, you use kind words to describe Budak Flat, but at that point of time, still ada macam tidak cukup lengkap. Contoh lah. Yeah. You asked me about Pantun and Budak Flat, right? Sorry.
And then after that was like the next one that I wanted to ask about was Bangun, and also the album,
Right.
because I feel like those were kind of, I mean, if we touch on every single process of anybody who's been in his body of work, it's a full thing. So how did you go from like such an incredible success of like Budak Flat? What was the next step for you? Were you like immediately after that like, okay, album?
Yeah, I think in my books, again, Malik Ibrahim's OK album is a universe of its own. And I think that whenever any artist goes down that journey to try to achieve whatever yardsticks that album has, artistically, you will be rewarded with some sort of growth. This is how I look at it. So maybe Malik had more fame, it put him on a new prestige, but that entire album was like it's a different universe. It's like, when I was 18 years old, or when I was 16 years old, I watched Scarface. And remember I told you about Eminem, and these were all like
Yep.
the Andrew Tates before Andrew Tate?
Yep.
Well, Tony Montana was the Andrew Tate before Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel that OK album was cohesive, lyrically, look and feel wise. Whatever he did in, if I'm not mistaken, I think he dropped the album 06, 07, 08 or 08, 08, 08. That whole way that he was going about that album was a trip for a lot of, at least those around me,
Yeah.
my age group. I know Joe's Havoc album was it was like it's like a big ass bomb in the ocean. Like if you see a 1940 something video of like a bomb atom dekat laut, and that was Havoc. Indeed Havoc. You know? Yeah, I mean, and there are other albums prior to that, but this is like me part fan. Now I'm also an artist. Like I have like yakin diri. Like I know I'm an artist. I don't need, like, you know what I mean? I think it's very important for, you know, it's like a doctor knows a doctor is a doctor without a patient.
Yeah.
So an artist also needs to come to the point where an artist know an artist is an artist without two fans. One fan, I'm an artist. Let's go. The second fan can come at bila lu ready. The third fan can come bila lu ready. You know what I mean? So, and it's a journey for an artist. Some artists don't go to art school. I didn't go to art school. I'm like discovering macam, kenapa Amelia ni macam caya tu dia present ke apa, oh, public speaking nama dia, tu, you know, communication skill namanya.
No,
Body,
I
contohnya
didn't go
lah
in
kan.
juga.
Contohnya lah kan, you punya body language kena positive body language, jangan guarded, you can, whatever lah kan, then you become a better speaker contohnya. So I'm bringing back these two albums because like, you know, it's just like, you know, at that point of time, I could tell from a distance Malik has a humor because he starts the album with Diam. And it's nothing. It's 10 seconds of silence. The track title is Diam. You think he's going to say something, but it's Diam. And then the last track title is Diam. So, you know, he has this humor, but, you know, he doesn't sell that side of him, humor. So I feel it's a different universe. And I'm just talking about the art. I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about this labor of love, these people put together, and that I'm like, yo, this is dope. So when it came time that I wanted to, you know, I told you like, because we dipantun, play rap, then people can sing along. Then next week, Budak Flat tried to put a chorus that time, and I'm like, wow, and all eyes on me. That people are singing along. I feel love. You know, I appreciate the love. Now, when it came to an album, I was just trying to now see, like, this is how I perceive these albums, and these are the metrics these albums achieve, despite being commercially successful. Album ni memang berjaya dari sudut commercial. They have their respective hit songs, but that trip, bila you dengar album tu, you macam, yo, ni.
It's a journey.
Yeah, when you go, like, Havoc album feels like it was a door off OK album. This is how I feel lah. Macam Tony Montana ni. And then, you know, when you see a different, like a gangster movie, they sort of like, okay, this gangster movie is that conversation at the beach, you know? So I found, and they sort of elevated the rap community to a solid level, which is, I felt, OK album made people macam rap Melayu doh. Yo, kau orang Malaysia, kita kena rap cara kita, and all that kind of stuff. And then Havoc was like, hey, lu ingat gua nak gerai berapa lama siut gua nak kedai. Lepas tu 5 tahun gua nak franchise. That's what Havoc album had, the spirit. You know what I mean? It's like from Pro 2 to Beamer second hand to, Datuk, you dah keluar, you ada Bentley. You know, that journey, that was Havoc album for me, kan? And so, I was just like, based on the, and I don't think it's very easy to do. No artists can always, you see, this is how I'm describing this album. I would like someone to describe, like, you know, when I heard the album, so I aspire to cuba create album yang macam tu. And I don't see that many albums yang macam tu. Like, you know?
It's actually, I feel like macam, especially zaman sekarang, it's decreasing.
Yeah, because like early on, I don't know how many parts this thing is going to be, but it's a single market or body of work market. You just go for the catchy song, get all the money market, or like after when you die, they say, they left us with this, thank you very much market, you know? So you'd want to balance it out yourself. So when it came to my album, I'm recording songs. I'm trying to then put together lah satu album yang sekohesif yang boleh. Dan ketika itu naluri I rasa album ni sonically tak selari. Meaning all the songs are not like from the same fabric. So I cuba sandpaper semua fabric ni nampak macam
Satu package.
mata you tak sakit lah bila you masuk kedai baju ni, tengok baju-baju ni kan macam kena lah. Bila dia terlalu campur aduk, you lose a certain aesthetic. These dua album ni ada satu aesthetic yang you boleh tahu artis-artis yang jana, yang rakam album ni, yang tulis album ni ada garam. They have, they're worth their salt. They've gone through life. They know how to put together a good song or a great song. They had hits prior to that. So from Budak Flat, I aspired based on those standards. Like, dope. Like they did the Anak Ayams and all. They did the famous stuff. This felt like creative integrity. Like, aku nak tulis lagu macam ni. And make it a hit. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like, I don't know. You got to go check out their discography. You can feel like back then they knew how to put a hit together. This is how I feel. But later on, they were like, nah, I want to do this. And it's going to be a hit. So from a rapper point of view, MC point of view, I felt like, that's high level mastery. Macam dia, kita hanya akan score 10 minutes at the end of the game je. First kita main je, they were like, tak gopo ke apa kan. So I put that same aspirations. I'm going to put this in the album and try to put together Rebel. I didn't know what to call it, so I'm calling my friends. Hey, kau dulu ingat aku cakap Rebel though. Kau Rebel though, so I like, because I was a bit too shy to use Budak Flat. Like, took me a few years to put it on a t-shirt. But back then I was just like, I don't know if I should write on that or not, or, represent kita. And so I thought Rebel was very, saya belasan tahun orang cakap Rebel, 20-an orang cakap Rebel, and in my own way, of course. So I just said, okay, working title Rebel. Then it's what lah.
Ended up being permanent title lah.
Yeah, from working title, I just went like Rebel. Initially, I knew what the initial title was, Anarchy. That's why the crown terbalik. Because self-governance, that time I was trying to just take the lane of lone wolf.
Yeah.
I'm bukan yang dengan klik ke apa. I'm quite solitude. I appreciate my private space and all, I think I am a lone wolf ever since I started. Who values teamwork? I know the great perks of a team. Tapi naturally, I'm just a lone wolf.
Yeah.
So we start lah, Amelia, and we start the demos, put together the album, and yeah, what else you want to know about that?
The rest is history. I guess it's really interesting to hear about the artistry behind the scenes that goes into it.
Right.
Because sebagai seorang yang tak pernah keluarkan music langsung, I always assumed, salah, that it was like, okay, I have a song, sounds good, release it. I have a song, sounds good, release it. I have 10 songs, all sound good, album. So I always assumed it to be like that.
Sorry, could you repeat? You said you got 10 songs, you released
They sound
it.
good, put it lah in an album.
I mean, you could,
Yeah.
but it's some
the
albums,
art is missing from that.
I think it's that element of anticipation.
Anticipation.
Yeah, sebab macam kadang-kadang, like, because I remember when OK came out, OK was just 3 songs. Assalamualaikum, Kau Yang Punya. I think, yeah. And then I think there was some version of OK. You had OK, Assalamualaikum, Kau Yang Punya, and Mantra Beradu without M. Nasir's version. I still remember this. Because it is like,
So impactful.
there was an element of like work in progress, which later on you see in today's time is like, they're sharing it. Hey, what do you think of this video? And this is a guy that he's already done the whole thing. And now he's on his artistic journey.
Yeah.
And he's about to share it like this. He drops 3-4 songs. It reaches the listener, us. We were like, yo, this guy, wow, what is this? Aku haru biru, 𝙏𝙃𝙄𝙎 atau sebaru biru. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? And that time, not only did it sound good, you're like, yo, he has a skyline.
Yeah.
wow, we should aspire to be that, which
Yeah.
is like, stuff. It was like, it meant a lot of things to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And for me was that journey. That was the most beautiful thing, like, cause it was like you can do it too. It's not gonna be easy for some. It's not gonna be forever for some, but you can do it too. That's how these two albums sort of have
Yeah.
that spirit. So that's what I wanted to do. So when you say about that ada 10 lagu buat album, boleh tak salah. Cuma it's like when you
It
see a
likes
trailer and
finesse,
all
I
you
guess.
see is a trailer, and then when
Yeah.
you see the movie, you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
So I think some types of listeners want that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know that many people that can consistently dish that. I know they can meet KPIs, they can write catchy songs, they can consistently maintain visibility. But there's some just like, they create this piece of art that all of the other business things is not so important as much as what that meant to you.
Yeah.
And I'm just speaking as an artist right now. Yeah, that's itu je lah apa yang I fikir ke rasa.
And then with like the success of this, sampai macam Bangun AJL. Yeah. So at any point during this, did you ever macam step back and nampak tak macam perjalanan you sejauh mana yang you datang?
Yeah, so I noticed Amelia most of the time. I told you tadi pun dekat luar, I'm in the middle of the storm.
Yeah.
I dekat like the storm happening kan.
Yeah.
So I dekat tengah-tengah tu. So tak semua benda yang I perasan atau I ambil perhatian. I just know I think Bangun itself was suatu kembara artist development for me. Because like I told you, like, yo, the stage is not for me. And so I learned, Jennifer Thompson was giving me tips like, yo, was like, of course, constructively and with tips. Dia tanya, highlight, and then tunjuk, to how to perform.
I thought it was a really good performance.
Yeah. So I think she gave me tips on how to take it. I was like, I think I was like, when I saw 𝙀𝙃𝙄𝙎𝙎's AJL performance, I was like, yo, he's alone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this is what's up. And for me, my point of view is like, always rap like has a certain, macam selalu ada, not to knock anybody's periuk nasi, but I notice macam rap tak sampai ke arah abstract art lagi. It's always like very hiburan. Very like upbeat and a lot of people on stage, different people doing different things, but it's not like theater-like, kan? And kalau you seorang, it's sort of like you need to have a certain showmanship lah. And so when I saw that AJL, I think I need to also mention, like, for me, I saw 2 AJL tapes, Hafiz Shu'aib, if I'm not mistaken. Awan Nano, I think. And Dato' M. Nasir's either Mantra Semera Padi, if I'm not mistaken. They perform alone on stage, that big stage alone.
It's terrifying.
It is, because you got like berapa puluh ribu depan you kan.
And your backup dancers tak ada untuk macam distract orang daripada
I
kesalahan.
think for me, where dia macam wow.
Yeah.
Like I nampak benda tu, selain lagu tu hit, I macam wow. Ni lagi satu, dalam seni tu ada seni lagi ni. It's like, how did he handle that stage alone? So I pula macam, kau boleh ke? And that sort of gets me excited. And very, very like, hey, you sure or not? Kan? So I pun, tak tahulah, I pun macam, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's try, let's go, And it was a lot of training. I got tips, like what to do, what not to do. Of course, we've had songs that also prior to me, ada lagu-lagu lain daripada dunia hip-hop yang dah sampai. You got Apa Khabar from there. You got Aku Maafkan Kamu, if I'm not mistaken. Apa Khabar got there. Satu Malam di Temasek got there. You got a few rap songs. Forgive me lah, ada juga lagu-lagu
Yang
lain.
sampai,
So for me it was just the, wow, how did these two... So these 2 videos were the Can I try to do that?
Yeah,
Nanti I akan buat benda lain lah kalau ada rezeki to get on it again or not. But for now, I just go like, yo, I want to try to. And, you know, perjalanan bangun pula, ditunjuk I macam showmanship, you know, kepentingan showmanship ataupun persediaan di sebalik showmanship. Like I remember I needed to know Sunlee at that point of time. Sunlee was like, him and I were doing the ghetto workout, and he was like, you know, he was saying that when he does his concerts, it's not just go on stage and kick it. There's a certain preparation at that point of time I didn't know. So they were like bits and pieces that I wished I knew.
I thought it was go on stage and kick it.
Nah. Like some artists, I know No does a lot of cardio to bring the energy he does.
Wow.
Yeah, like that. So when you like speak to this kind of gentleman, you will learn like lagi satu dunia di sebalik seni yang macam ni pula.
Wow.
Like No write songs differently, then they go on stage, that energy he brings. I mean, this is what he shared with me. That's why like I said like thank you, you know, to these gentlemen yang helped me. They showed me the way. So for Bangun, that was that. Like, okay, we gotta run, and I've never done this for that kind of sole purpose because it's angin.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of people, sometimes you get shortness of breath.
Yeah.
You forget to, you have a lot of shallow breathing.
Yeah.
You have to like maintain and be composed with, you know, you have to really.
Tak senang lah sebenarnya.
To me, tak lah, you know. But it's tak senang, and then lagi satu punya tak senang is to make it look senang, and
Yeah, that in itself pun is an art.
yeah, or rather that's what goes behind it lah. For me at least, you know, some people. So I've seen some people macam tak train and they go and they kick it and they
Yeah.
mic drop and then they bounce, and so yeah, Bangun was a journey itself. All this were a journey. I don't know now talking to you, is this like the great, you know, the great journey to like one day I can be a ghostwriter and people say boleh bro, aku boleh, okay kau tulis boleh, and I don't know, maybe
After all this, a ghostwriter still?
no, I mean like maybe now write for people or produce for people
No
lah.
need to
kan.
ghost lah. Just
Back then was ghostwriter because there were a lot of rappers like Jay-Z ghost wrote, Eminem ghost wrote. It was a certain so much
Rite
skill
of
for
passage, faham.
for no credit. It was like a different level, you know what I mean? It was just that to aspire to a certain aspiration, itu je, you know? So that was my young man goal. But yeah, that's Bangun for you. I don't think I've spoken this extensively about Bangun. Yeah.
yeah.
What time is it?
100%. What's the time? Oh my god.
4 in the morning. No, I'm playing.
I thought sangka. Okay, so quickly before we wrap this up, right? Wanted to talk about I guess like what's next for you. I know recently, not that recent, I'm gonna try to wrap this up as quick as possible because this is later daripada apa yang I expect. But last year, Ayo, right?
Right.
And also 2 years ago, Runcit.
Right.
What's next for you musically? Can
Yes.
share ke?
No, I mean can, you know.
It better
but
not be ghostwriting lah.
No. I mean, I've been writing. I'm at this stage where I'm trying to be more of an artist, because like most artists are to a certain level, like with all due respect, Amelia, but like, you know, like there's so many cogs in the wheel, macam ada ramai orang untuk jayakan sesuatu.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people see contoh Bangun, kan? But the cameraman at AJL also made Bangun look like, damn. And unfortunately, I don't know the gentleman's name. I don't know who took the shot yang bila I kick on stage. You get what I mean? So bila I perform live before a concert audience, kadang-kadang I rasa, dia macam bila I tengok the playback, I'm like, damn, that kick, dia pan out ke apa kan, cahaya. I wonder, do the people yang tengok I live sekarang ni bila I buat the concert, do they get the same feeling? I went like, I didn't know they were going to do that. That's damn.
Yeah.
You know? So that also made me question, setakat engkau tulis 16 baris ni, engkau seniman kaliber apa? Apa lagi engkau mampu buat sebagai seniman? So when I check out other artists, like I think again, bacaan dulu entah bila, but like Da Vinci akan buat, artis macam Da Vinci akan, they will make the tools to make the art. I just need to write a couple of words, you know? So I'm at that stage now, I'm just like trying to grow more as an artist. Like it would be great if I can contribute 20 to 40% of the short list of my next visuals on my music. These are the sounds that I want, like the sound selection for my songs. It's been a beautiful journey. Like the next pieces of songs that I'm about to share, I'm very excited to share. Like I got this song called Sujud, you know? And then I got a song called Bintang Hati. So I hope people like it.
And I think that a lot of the times bila kita buat something yang ikhlas kan, secara tak sengaja orang akan absorb that, and it always manages to reach people, I think.
Yeah. Give me a moment, just, you know. Yeah, so my next, a trick I learned. So much that we actually need to talk, but, I guess in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years, I have to share bits and pieces of me with the world. Whenever you're emotional, you look up, and the brain can't process emotions. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, so if anytime you're angry, you're sad, you just look up like I just did. So my eyes teared up because of how I felt about the songs, which I hope people feel also,
Yeah.
Yeah, so but when you look up, something happens to the brain that it can't compute. This is like I'm not quite sure, an NLP thing or a psychology thing. But yeah, sorry. For like 60 seconds, I did not pay attention. What did you say, Amelia?
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I always find musicians to be such fascinating individuals because I feel like a lot of the times, for people who are so beyond expressive dalam lagu-lagu yang diorang cipta, like you meet a lot of musicians and a lot of people that work in music are surprisingly introverted. And it always seems like the ones who are really about the art melepaskan semua perasaan-perasaan yang terpendam melalui music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a few songs. I got a song called 𝙏𝙃𝙄𝙎 as well. I got a few songs, and I put together a few songs over the years. Like you heard 𝙏𝙃𝙄𝙎. Like I love 𝙏𝙃𝙄𝙎. I wanted to achieve a song like that encapsulated the Malaysian spirit. Ayo was also wonderful. You get 4 different artists that have all had their works achieved like to levels like AJL, which is like it's
incredible.
a certain level like not
Yeah.
everybody. Someone once said there's so beratus lagu, berjuta, beribu, bukan berjuta, but setiap tahun berpuluh, beratus, beribu lagu, and 12 je yang sampai final. So even if you make it to music, you can macam yo. So like
It's a big deal.
as a person that wanted to be a ghostwriter, like I have a Anugerah Juara Lagu, which is a songwriting platform or a machine. They're like, hey, not bad, huh? You write, boleh, That's how I perceive it, lah. As a songwriter.
Yeah.
But like the songs that I wrote, like the Sujud, and I got Bintang Hati. I told you, Bintang Hati is about inner child. So, and then you got 𝙏𝙃𝙄𝙎. Yeah.
Can I ask a question to wrap up this segment? If you had to give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
I give the same Taurus. You know, I'm a Taurus.
Oh, you're a Taurus.
Yes, sir. You
Ah.
know, I give the same thing that I discovered. Once I got two, like this macam, I don't know when, since belasan tahun ke apa, I sort of like this, which is macam kata-kata mutiara lah. Satu tu dulu lah kan, I suka. If I tell you I'm good, you will say I'm boasting. Can if I tell you I'm no good, you know I'm lying. That was very ego. Then later on, I discovered this other, for like these two, at any point of time, anybody asks, I don't know why, macam mungkin ni lah ethics, you could know. Kalau I cakap baik, bongkar kau, tapi kalau aku cakap aku tak, menipu kau kan, contoh. But the other one is, I speak in Malay for this. Hidup ni satu tragedi kalau kau merasa. Hidup ni satu komedi kalau kau berfikir. And it's something like what I think Charlie Chaplin once said, like life is a tragedy up close and a comedy long shot. Like it's like how you look at things like. And so if you feel too much, you're gonna feel life is happening to you. But if you keep like more like holistic, like you said, life happens for you. So life is a tragedy if you feel too much. Life is a comedy if you think. Sorry, not feel too much, if you feel. And life is a comedy if you think. So that's I would share for anybody out there, like if they like it.
I'm gonna be thinking about that for days.
Oh, right.
I feel.
But the first one was Bruce Lee, just for you to know. Like the if I tell you I'm good, you say I'm boasting.
Yeah.
Because Bruce Lee was like, it's like very Asian pride, like so just that lah.
We're gonna move into our rapid fire segment.
Okay.
What was Bruce Lee's favorite drink?
Did you really? Okay, I don't know. Water. Right.
Sorry. That's not the joke segment yet. Tapi I thought I'd slot that in.
That's cancel culture material, okay?
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, come on. Everybody and their mom knows that joke lah.
Right.
It's cancel culture, is it?
I don't know. We got the millennials got to stick together.
No,
Amelia.
it's Wata because of the martial arts. Wata.
I thought that's like kung fu breathing. No, I don't know. I could be
I
wrong.
know I don't do kung fu. I was taekwondo.
Right.
Ada dua pilihan saja. Taekwondo, kung fu. I was taekwondo, unfortunately.
Faham.
Okay, so rapid fire.
Right.
Okay. Top 3 items on your bucket list.
What that mean? Sorry.
Bucket list is like benda-benda yang you kena buat before you hit the bucket, which is quite dark actually when you think about it. But 3 things you kena buat in your life.
Oh, bucket list before you kick the bucket.
Yes, bucket list is a list of things that you need to do before you kick the bucket. Contoh, mine is like one of them skydiving. I just want to do it one time. Maybe that is how I kick the bucket, not skydiving. Tapi I want to try it one time. Or it can be your like one thing you can think of that's on your bucket list.
Yeah, I mean, I got 3 things. I got a lot of things like I want to do. I think one of it is like be in Macau with my wife and kids. You know? Second one will probably be like, I want to, like when you make it, I want to have all the things I had at 18 and just go like, man, you on top of the world. Like, yeah, that's just that. Like, get it all and just live it like that guy when he had that 𝙁𝙗𝙄. I got the 𝙁𝙗𝙄 though, but it's good 𝙁𝙗𝙄, that kind of stuff. And then number 3, I think is, I think it's just, leave more works of art that can outlive me. Yeah.
It's a good answer. Okay, next one. Hobby or interest of yours yang orang tak tahu? Like, I don't know, cooking.
Like, I read a lot. But I don't know what I read, but I read a lot.
Tapi, I rasa macam reading tu sangat penting untuk rappers because it's vocabulary.
Yeah. Okay, so what I like to do.
Okay, most recent book that you read.
like hobby yet. Like
Yeah, hobby.
lately I got this thing to drink 3 liters of water before tengah hari.
That is not a hobby.
Oh no, okay.
That is not a hobby. That is a positive life choice. That's a
So
chore.
like hobby, like I don't know, man. I think now you're slowly showing to the world I'm boring. Like
It's not boring, is
no,
it?
I mean hobby. I like diving. I picked up diving.
Yes.
You know, diving is
much
cool.
better.
I mean, if I had all the time in the world and all the money in the world, I'd like to get back to drifting, like drift cars.
Ooh, okay.
You know, I like that very much. 18 years old, it was between drifting or rapping, but eventually it was like, you know, but like, you know, drifting is motorsports is it's one of those type of hobbies that perlukan modal yang sangat besar.
Yeah.
I think diving, currently I'm picking up the art of running. Like running, so like run 5 km, 10 km. I think it's just like, I don't know if this body can do it. So it's just, I have
Why not try?
Yeah, I learn more about me. I learn new things and all that kind of stuff.
My goal is to have hobbies that are as productive as this. I wish. Satu hari nanti I boleh cakap my hobby, running.
Right. I got
Drinking
running.
water.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to invalidate it, but that's just like, I wish.
I got weird habits, Amelia. Like I'm sometimes trying to be like, okay, when it's 20% your phone, charge it again. Like I sometimes like, you know, I have this weird rigid structure. I don't know if it's autism or whatever, but suddenly like there was a time when I'm just so obsessed with 3 liters of water like before 12. Like I'm just like, do we do 500 ml, 500 ml, 500 ml, 500 ml? Or do we do 1 liter first and then counting the rest, you know? So hobbies like, you know, I like diving. If I could dive often, that would be great. Running at the moment. What else? Like trying to figure out the signs to wake up at 5 in the morning. Like I tend to be very like, macam ini final year project ni. Kalau kita pukul 6 tutup ni, pukul 8 kita dah mula lentuk 10 out confirm kan.
Oh, so sekarang
Then
kita
if
dah overrun gila.
Sorry.
No. For you. I bukan macam tu. I tidur pukul 2,
but
bangun
hobbies
11.
is just really reading. I have so many mental thumbnails that I gotta go find out. I gotta go find out about that. Like, what is that thing on his camera? I gotta go find out about that. And what's the purpose? How did it start? What's the origin? Where will it go? You know, like, that's how my mind sort of works.
That's incredible.
And maybe in 3 years, I put it in a verse. You know what I mean? It's not for the next. So I think it's reading. Like, reading is like my interest. I like to read. I don't have.
Is there a genre?
I realize like I just read a lot of like facts. I haven't gotten with the whole, you know, this. But I just read about like, I think, macam how the world works in every angle. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a fix. I don't like just read politics or I just read like economy ke, read about music ke, apa. It's just weird. Like, I think Bohemian Rhapsody sort of inspired Pantun because it had no structure. But I don't know why it suddenly came out. You see how random that is? So I just read like at that theme.
Yeah.
So, pada tema tersebut saya baca macam tu lah.
Tapi
So I
ilmu is never wasted. Like even if you read it today, maybe in 10 years baru dia
Betul.
akan datang balik and dia akan jadi something yang sangat penting for that day in 10 years time.
Yeah.
But
So
you never know.
my current hobbies, and also my current hobbies is learning to be more sebagai macam artis, mekar lebih sebagai artis. Gotta know the business side of things, but like, you know, mekar lebih sebagai artis. That's like, and I just do whatever lah. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
all of
so-
the behind the scene work. So when I
Yeah,
hear that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
part of the process. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, hobbies. Yeah, sorry. Your rapid fire, slow down. Your rapid
No,
fire.
it's okay. Rapid fire ni tak pernah rapid. Okay,
Okay.
next one.
Yeah.
If your life was a movie, what would be the title?
I used to.
Kenapa? Kenapa kelah?
Life of Pi. It's quite cliche. I don't know, but I would say Tony Montana, but Scarface. But you know, I would say Scarface. Like, you know, but I think Life of Pi. When 𝙁𝙃𝙄𝙎 looks back, it doesn't mean anything. It was what it was, and the story move on. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
I don't know, just like when you tell me, dia kena macam tu kan. So I don't know why this moment I cakap Life of Pi, but Life of Pi it is, Amelia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. I think this one, I probably can assume who it's going to be. Last person you called on the phone. It doesn't have to be accurate.
Hey, my wife.
Ada agak dah.
Yeah, I think so.
assumed.
I think so.
Okay.
Wait, what did we do today? Definitely my wife. Yeah. At the car park, I think. I needed something from the car. Yeah. For sure.
Final rapid fire joke. And this is the least rapid of all time. Favorite joke.
Yeah, so like,
This is the one.
sorry, it's funny to me. So there's a poor lady, right, dressed down dirty. Dia macam ada orang tua ni, wanita. Pakaian dia macam lusuh lah. So dia tengah jalan. I say it in English lah, because I tak nak dia lose context lah kan. So this is old lady in like worn out clothes. She's kicking a can. So a homeless person looks at this lady and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" So this lady, she thinks, she looks at the guy with pride and says, because he's like, "Why are you kicking the can?" And the old lady says, "I'm moving." So I mean, it could be a dark joke, but I mean, the guy, he's like, "What the hell? You didn't get it?" So, but when I discovered it, I read it. I think I read it off Reader Digest. So, a long time ago.
This is like Reader's Digest is like the Eminem of
joke. But yeah, it's like old lady.
Like the Wikipedia. If it came out now,
yeah, tak boleh ni kan, tak prihatin kan. Warga. No, but dia macam wanita tendang tin, homeless tengok wanita, dia tanya, "Hey, kau buat apa tu?" Wanita kata, "Kau tengah pindah." It's like,
Kejap ni,
Sambil kicking the can. And then another one, I forgot, off the top. Like, your mother's so poor, she went to KFC and she licked other people's fingers. That one always gets me. That one's bad. Have you guys ever heard that?
That was not from Reader's Digest.
Again?
That was from Reader's Digest?
No. That's like... That's probably from yahoo.com era code. Like, your mother's so poor, she went to KFC and licked... Oh, it's a stand-up comedy. I don't know. Is this one of those? I mean, Or it's white girls. White girls, that one used to get me all the time. Like,
I loved white girls.
Your mama's so poor. I mean, so old. Her breast milk powder or something. That was, But I don't know how politically correct all these are. Right.
We wrote some for you.
Okay.
You want to listen?
Yeah.
Okay. Macam mana seorang penyanyi boleh expresskan ideanya?
Any? Okay, macam mana?
Manifesto.
Apa dia?
Manifesto.
Sorry, I'm not getting it, Amelia. Sorry. A manifesto.
Manifesto.
A manifesto. Oh, right. Wordplay on my name. Right. Okay. Sorry, I slow skate. Dah tengah malam dah ni, Amelia. Sorry.
Tak apa. You want to hear another one?
Yeah, please.
Kenapa budak flat jarang bergaduh?
Is dark humor?
No.
Kenapa budak flat
jarang bergaduh?
I honestly don't know.
Sebab ada Aman RA. Sebab ada Aman.
Oh, right. Ada Aman. I'm sorry, man. I'm so slow. Allah. Sorry,
No, this is a moment yang sejarah untuk kita because we've had some mixed reactions in the past kan. Ada orang yang rasa jokes kita paling lawak dia pernah dengar. Ada orang yang rasa jokes kita sendu. Ini kali pertama ada orang yang macam confused.
Seriously?
Yes.
Sorry.
Ini tak pernah lagi lah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I hope. Yeah.
We saved some more actually.
Okay, hit me.
Rapper mana yang paling sweet?
Paling sweet.
Yeah.
Honey.
That's a good idea, but not the idea that we have written down.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. It was borderline.
It was good. It was good.
Riddle, right? Because
Yeah.
honey is sweet, right?
Madu kan?
Right.
M&M.
Okay, I get that part. The chocolates. I get the part.
Okay, good. So you got one to it.
Okay.
Kenapa rapper tak suka ambil cuti?
Kenapa rapper tak suka ambil cuti?
Tak suka ambil cuti.
Sebab dia selalu MC.
Oh, that might be even better than what we wrote down.
Oh shit, sorry. sorry.
Tak ada salah, tak ada betul.
Okay.
Because they always forget Tupac.
Kenapa rapper selalu
Tak suka bercuti.
sebab tak suka?
They always forget Tupac. Tupac.
Tupac kereta.
Tupac the bag.
Tupac, right? No, okay, got it. Because the wordplay though, Amelia. Like,
Can improve it.
Tupac. Okay, sorry. Faham. Because they can't Tupac.
Actually, it would have been better kan kalau kita cakap, why do rappers always lose their cars? Because they always forget Tupac.
Betul.
Tupac.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
Yeah.
That'll be dope.
Dah terlambat. Okay, tak apa. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of our episode. Any others ke?
No. I'm now like thinking about the Tupac thing. Like, okay.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you very much for having
today.
me. Kalau ada apa-apa salah ke apa,
Tak ada at all.
healing please.
Healing, please.
No, I'm playing.
Kalau ada apa-apa salah, boleh pergi.
No, I mean, yeah, just sharing my point of view. I
No,
think
not
this is
at all.
piece of interview I've not done in a long time.
I know. Thank you so much sebab meluangkan masa bersama kita.
Thank you for having me and making it wonderful.
Any last words for your supporters out there?
Amen. Jalan.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet indeed.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much sekali lagi. And thank you guys also
Thank you
for
so
watching
much.
this episode of Sudah Sembang. Jangan lupa kita akan ada same time, same place next week. Alright? See you guys then. Bye.